wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. Jet, we Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase. Yeah. Bubba C. Yeah. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring son up.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets. What is going on, everybody? You already know what it is. Happy Monday! Starting off your week right. Listen, okay. I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to take this text number down, right? Because y'all Bama's be, listen, I am not, I can be, but if you having a boring weekend, don't text me to do a show. You will be surprised how many people text this number and be like, Scotty, you doing a show this weekend? Scotty, you going live this weekend? Listen, man,
weekends are my days off so I can spend with my kids. Now, when I already told my kids, when the football season happened, you don't know me, I don't know you. Okay? It's football. Okay? Saturday, it's football. So just look at me as a stranger on the weekends. You don't know me, I don't know you. But in my off season, I use the weekend to spend time with my kids, right? Even though they was on punishment all weekend, then I just use that time to spend with my lovely wife that you guys know and love so much, Key, right? So, you know what I'm saying? If I do a show on the weekend, it's really because it's like something hot. Like I'm like, oh, I got to talk about this. But if it ain't nothing like that, you're not gonna catch me on the weekend. You're just not. You know what I'm saying? So y'all must be like, oh, Scotty, you doing a show this weekend? Oh, did I miss a show? I appreciate y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I appreciate you. Right? I'm just giving you the heads up. You ain't gonna catch me on the weekend. It just ain't gonna happen. It just ain't gonna happen. First of all, shout out to my guy, Mature Mickens from the East Coast, the best coast. Right? He been following me for a while. We've been Twitter friends, and he hit me up. He's an OFFSCRIPT member. He hit me up and said, "Bro, you know, because of y'all, man, because of the channel, because of all the talk around HBCUs, he's like, I'm going to get my master's from Texas Southern." I love it. Okay. He said, man, I wouldn't even have known about the program at Texas Southern if it wasn't for you bringing awareness to HBCUs and following you. So, man, listen, shout out to you, man. Go get your master's. Go become one of the Now you can talk your shit. Now they can't tell you nothing. So when you got an opinion about an HBCU, all you got to do is say, graduate. Graduate. Then you can talk your mess. You can talk your mess all you want. You can talk your mess. I gotta watch my words because my I don't know what you call it. Like, do you call like grandma-in-law? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you like? I don't call my grandparents Nani, Nana, whatever I don't come up with all them weird names. All right. It was grandpa and grandma, granny, granddad. So Key's granny, or she calls her Nana, right? Her Nana is over here, and her pawpaw is over here. They're amazing, okay? They have been like helping straighten up the house because we still have boxes everywhere. Oh my God. Lifesaver! My mom would never, okay? She'll help with some dishes or something, but my mom would never. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Nana and Papa who are here in the house helping us put stuff together. Listen, Key had a tote of clothes. Man, women got too much clothes. And this is the thing, right? Listen, give me some time. Let me cook real quick, right? This is the thing with women in clothes. It be clothes. Okay. I don't understand the logic. Somebody got to help me understand the logic. You have old clothes that you don't wear. You continue to buy new clothes and you never let the other clothes go. How does that work? Like, you don't wear those anymore. You buy new, and now you're here with all the news. Like, when I first met Key, listen to me. When I first met Key, she was taking stuff out the closet with the tag still on. Stuff still had a tag on it. I said, so you bought it and you never wore it? I'm like, yo, that's different. I got the same. Listen, I got a shirt from Basic Training that I still wear. That was like in 2011. I went to Basic Training in 2011. I got a Basic Training shirt that I still wear in 2011. My wardrobe is not extensive, okay? It is very simple. Everybody who knows me knows I like to be comfy and bummy. That's my repertoire, okay? Comfy and bummy. When you see me, I'm comfy and bummy, all right? Sweats, hoodie. I like to be comfy. I like to be loose. You know what I'm saying? It's just me. So I don't get it. Bro. I mean, with the price, with the tag still on, and then she don't even try on what she buy. Like, she buying clothes. She just buying clothes. Like, she don't even try clothes on. She like, I know my size. I'm like, but what if I know my size. I said, so you're not going to go to the store? I hate going to the store and try on. You got all these clothes. Oh, but I hate going to I hate going to the store and trying clothes on. I hate it. I can't stand. I don't get it. I don't get it. It just, I don't. To each his own. My bad. I'm locked in. I'm locked in. Okay, I'm locked in. It's just. I gotta at least try to pants order this. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm locked in. My bad, Emmett. I'm locked in, Emmett. I'm locked in. Okay, let's get to today's show. Make sure you go ahead and like the stream. Stop playing with me. Okay, stop playing with me. Like the stream, and you already know it. You want an elite? You gotta get yourself Elite 15 coffee. Okay. Hottest brand on the market, black-owned, veteran-owned business. Hot tie. Okay, get you some Elite 15 coffee. Link in the description below. Also, gotta hit y'all members up early because ninjas don't always go to the end of the video. Hey, our baby registry is in the chat. Not in the chat, in the link in the description below. So if you would like to bless us with anything, you are more than welcome to do that. We will really appreciate it. We're waiting from the package from BJ. He said his package. BJ said his package is gonna look like a Southern locker room. He said, Scotty. He said, I watched your show about sitting in school stuff. He said it's gonna look like a Southern locker room. So it's gonna be a lot of baby blue and gold coming around these parts. But listen, if you like to bless us with anything, whatever touches your heart, whatever donation you like to do, go ahead, hit the baby registry. We'll really, really appreciate that. All right. What else we got? Hey, you already know this. Become a member. Okay, become a member. Listen, a lot of you Bammers ain't paying your tithes and offerings. You in my congregation every time I go live, you live. I'm keeping you out of work. I'm making work go by fast. Pay your tithes and offerings. All right, become a member. Become a member of the clergy. All right, pay your tithes and offerings. $4.99, $9.99, $19.99. Okay, pay your tithes and offerings. You already know. You know. I'm meditating you. Yeah, I'm coming live every day. Come on, man. Pay your tithes and offerings. It is what it is, all right? It is what it is. Become a member of the OFFSCRIPT brand. You already know what it is. And in July, it's right around the corner, Reese will be giving away a brand spanking new NCAA 2025. You want to make sure you're a member so you can be a part of the drawing, all right? Make sure you're getting into that as well. Now, it wouldn't be me if I didn't start the day off right with a little
I'm petty.
If I ain't start the day off a little Monday morning pettiness, gotta end the month. We gotta end the month off right. You know what I'm saying? The month of April has been good to us. You still here, I'm still here. God has blessed us with another day. Another day to be what?
I'm petty.
Come on now. Blessed us with a day to be right. So I want to send a shout out to all those Poho State fans out there in the whereabouts in them streets. I had just came across this video that I saw that I thought y'all might be interested in. You know what I'm saying? So let's play the video, shall we? I love that. That's so they did that so well. Let's go. They did that so well. Shout out to Charlotte. UNC. I'm gonna have to get me some 49er gear. Hey. Might see a little 49ers in the background. Ooh, one more time for the people in the back. Working hard in them streets. Pothole State could never. That's how you bring them. That's how you bring them in right, Charlotte. Charlotte 49ers. I might have to do like the pregame show and have to like jump ship over to like make like off script like all green and white and be like, I'm a Charlotte 49er fan now, baby. Go 49ers. Charlotte, bang bang, okay? That's what I just thought y'all, just in case y'all missed it, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to help y'all, you know what I'm saying? Keep y'all up to date with everything, you know what I'm saying? As we go. You know my favorite Frank Ocean song is that one like your tornado flew around my room before you came. Excuse the mess it made. It usually doesn't rain in Southern California, much like Arizona. My eyes don't say tears, but girl, I'm crying when I'm thinking about you. Oh, no. I've been thinking about you. Oh, no. Hey, that joint used to go. Hey, that whole album, Orange and Pyramids. Oh, man, that joint was crazy. That joint was crazy. Shout out to Frank Ocean, okay? Shout out to Frank Ocean. So, hey, that joint, that, yo, you know, y'all know that used to ride. You know that used to ride. Come on, don't play with me. Come on, man. You know what? I can't keep no copyright. Let me see. You know, man, y'all know how I get down here. Heard it's about 4 JSU players being at the Colorado. They miss him. They miss him, man. They miss him. That's what it is. They miss him. Shout out to you at UCLA. Here we go. The mess it made. But do you ever think so far ahead? All right. Hey, listen, you better enjoy it while it comes because once this video is over, I got to pull that, chop that, cut that. You already know what it is. All right. Here we go. Let's talk about it. It's the elephant in the room. Let's talk about it. Okay. It is the elephant in the room. Once again, another year. Well, another 0 HBCU players have been drafted. Last year, it was Isaiah Bolden getting drafted. The year before that was the Bama from Fayetteville State, who's at Kansas City. And you had Jacoby Durant at the LA. You also had James Houston as well. So, it was a trend when Deion was here. And now that Deion is gone, it has kind of gone back to what it was. Now, let me be very clear. All right, let me be very clear about this. I'm not shocked, right? I'm not shocked. I thought, me personally, let me just tell you me personally, the only person that I really would have bet my money on to get drafted was Mikey Victor. Mikey Victor would have been the only person like you. If I had one person I would bet on getting drafted, it was probably going to be Mikey Victor. I just thought you couldn't pass up a kid 6'3", 6'4", you know what I'm saying, runs a 4.4, has pretty good tape, right, at the DB position, could get him in the 6th, 7th round or anything like that. He did sign as an undrafted free agent, and that's expected. He's probably going to make the team. You don't find kids that big and that can move that well, as well as he does, right? And the reason why I asked the question, I had the poll question as I have is, do HBCUs need to care about their players getting drafted? Is because you can't be on both sides of the fence, right? You can't be like, we're not going to do this, but we expect to get this, right? We don't have to do this, but why aren't they drafting HBCU players? Let me just say this. The 90s, that era where you saw, 4, 5, 6 players, 2 players going in the first round, HBCU, those days are over. Okay, those days are over. Now, I'm not saying players are never going to get drafted. Now, I'm never going to be on that point. I just think you have to be a very, 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 very special talent. And I think you have to play a certain type of schedule. I know a lot of people say, Scotty, what about the D2 guys? I can't speak for them. Maybe they're playing great D2 teams. Maybe, I don't know, right? But at some point in time, once again, you cannot be on both sides of the fence. You have to pick a side. But let's talk about some of the undrafted guys who got an opportunity. I absolutely love this graphic by Alabama State. They did Mikey Victor right with this one. He signs with the Patriots. Sandata Anderson, he is an undrafted free agent. He went to the Seattle Seahawks. Jablonski Green got an invite. He signed. Apologies, my bad. Jablonski Green is signing an undrafted free agent with Indianapolis Colts. You already know Isaiah Land is there as well. Jarvion Howard at Alcorn State is reportedly going to the Green Bay Packers as an undrafted free agent as well. Man, but listen, I want to talk about Marcus Riley. Okay, now I want to be very clear. That money is not fully guaranteed, right? That money is not this $2.8 million contract for 3 years. It's not fully guaranteed. I reached out to some people. They said Scotty is probably loaded with incentives and all that type of stuff, which is cool. But I do know there is at least over $100,000 in guarantees, and then they gave the man a signing bonus on top of it. So shout out to Marcus Riley, okay? Shout out to Marcus Riley, too. That's a manyan. That's the new word for the young kids now. Manyan. That boy got that manyan, okay? Shout out to him. And listen, I love this kid. Jordan Toll signs an undrafted free agent deal with the Ravens. I think he is going to make that team. And when he does make that team, Jordan Toes, I am getting a jersey. Boy, I'm going to buy your jersey as soon as you make the active roster, because you're going to make it. You're that damn good. Okay. All right. So want to give, okay, it's guaranteed if he makes the active roster. Man, appreciate that, Jay Shaw, right? Patrick Golbo to the Jets. Let me say some names. Musa got an invite to Tampa Bay. Ian Wheeler, shout out to him. He got signed by the Chicago Bears. Tariq Stewart got an invite to the Patriots. There's a lot of guys out there that got a lot of HBCU players got a lot of opportunities to either make a team, got an undrafted free agent signing, got an invite to rookie minicamp, things like that. So just want to give a shout out to those guys. Your dreams do not stop because you're undrafted free agents, all right? Go make a team. Go do what you got to do and make it happen. Shout out to, like my man said, Peasy. Shout out to Peasy. Chris Blair, Claude, and Sherlitz are still on active rosters. It can all happen. Shout out to Aubrey Miller, who got picked up by the Elks in the CFL. Listen, I want to be very clear, man. Listen, there's a reason why only 1% make it to the NFL. It is hard. Right? There's a lot of hurdles and jump throughs and politics and all that type of stuff that plays a factor in making it to the NFL. But let me tell you this. If you're playing football for a living, enjoy it. If you are playing a sport that you love and it is taking care of your bills, enjoy it. Okay? Enjoy it. Live it up. Soak it up. Whatever, okay? Go have a ball. CFL, UFL, NFL, BFL, And it don't matter. Okay? You are in the minority to even make it to that level. Okay? So enjoy it, live it up. Doesn't matter what level you on. All right, go get your money, go get your paper. You can make a damn good life for yourself playing in the CFL, UFL, or whatever. All right, so just want to give you that opportunity. And listen, even if you're in the UFL, the CFL, don't be surprised if you get pulled up. All right, do not be surprised if you get pulled up. All right. I have not heard anything about Davius Richard. Let me text somebody who might, but I haven't heard anything about Davius Richard. So, yeah. So let me see. Hold on. All right, just text somebody. All right. So I just text somebody. Hopefully they can get back to some information on the back. Now, let's continue. Okay, you know me. People say I need to stop yelling, so I'm not going to yell. You know me, okay? Y'all have watched me long enough. I'm not going to pacify you just because, worries me. HBCUs, they hate. I don't give a damn about none of that. All right. There's always some accountability to be held. And I'm going to say this: HBCUs will have to make a choice, right? And I love what Josh says. And I'm gonna show you what Josh says. I'm gonna go back. Josh said this, right? This is what Josh from HBCU Nightly posted on his Twitter after the draft. He said, approach this like any other industry. If we didn't have the students getting opportunities or hired in different industries year after year, do we continue to blame the industry, or do we look in the mirror, create strategies to affect change, and then effectively create autonomy in the industries so we can get people in position? Now, you can take this in a multitude of ways, right? When you talk about creating an autonomy, is kind of how I take it, is building a system, building a pipeline, or whatever. But how I look at it is this: you see how the world has changed since the 90s into the 2000s and now to the 2020s, 2010s, and everything like that. You've seen HBCU and FCS football has been devalued more, and more. And let me also say this: you have to play a part in it as well, because you devalued your own product. Right? You devalued your own product. Yes, there's a fan base. Yes, there's a calling. Yes, there's a culture, but you devalued it, and you can't act like you didn't. Right? So this is going to be my question to all the head honchos and all the people who complain and say this or say that, is this: what do you want to be? What do you want to be? Do you want your players to be drafted or not? Because if the answer is yes, we want our players to be drafted, you're going to have to move away from the traditions and the rivalries that put you in position to hurt you. You can't be Southern and have a gosh darn whole schedule full of SWAC teams. You cannot do that. And then have Lincoln, PA, Virginia Lynchburg. You can't do that. That doesn't do see, this is the part where I keep telling y'all, you can't play on both sides of the fence. If you guys come together and say, or you know what, individually, if an individual school outside the MEAC, because they only got like 5 teams, so they got to play Power Fives. So that's neither here nor there, right? So leave the MEAC out of it. They ain't got no choice but to play Power Fives, right? They got to fill their schedule. in the SWAC specifically, right? If you're bitching and moaning about how we don't have no players drafted and this, that, and the third, you cannot consistently schedule the way you schedule and then get mad at the NFL for not picking your players when they've told you why a certain kid got drafted. They told you why the old lineman from Alabama State got taken in the first round. He mollywopped Auburn. They said his tape against Auburn got him drafted in the first round. They told you the Kobe Durant against Clemson got him drafted. They didn't say South Carolina State against FAMU. They didn't say South Carolina State against Morgan. They didn't say any of that. They are telling you, hey, this game, they told you Darius Leonard got drafted off of his games against the Power Five, against South Carolina, where I believe he had like 18 to 20 tackles, right? So, Titus Howard, thank you so much, Ty. Titus Howard, so my question and my point is this. Which one do you want to see? Do you want to see more players having opportunities to go play at the next level from your institution? Right? Because I understand it's a catch-22. You might have a junior or sophomore. He balls out against a Power Five. Next year, he's gone. This is just the day and age that it is, right? It's just the day and the age of transfer portal, of the NIL. It is what it is. So you're either going to have to get with it or just do it your way, and whatever happens, right? So it's one of those things where you really have to sit back and dive. You really have to sit back and dive in, dig deep and dive into what you want to do and how you want this to come about, right? So, listen, I'm gonna be the main one, and I'm gonna say this continually. I don't have a problem if you choose one or the other. I don't give two cares if you decide to, hey, let's insulate. We'll just make money off our games and do whatever. Or, hey, we'll go the Power Five route and we'll play a Power Five team or a low-level Group of Five or a high-level FCS opponent. I'm cool with that, right? But you just got to make a decision. But see, the thing about insulating that bothers me, you cannot insulate and then don't promote. Like when you insulate, right? If you're saying, hey, well, we don't need that. We don't have to do all that. That's cool. I ain't got no issues with that, right? Keep it all black. They don't understand us. We don't understand y'all. We'll do what we do. That's cool. That's fine. I'm cool with that, right? Either way, I'm fine with it. My thing is this. If you decide to insulate and you decide to shut down, well, now you got to work harder to promote yourself. You can't sit back on your. This is the thing I hate is HBCU, the SWAC, the SIAC, the CIAA, they feel like this. I have a niche market and I'm only going to sell to my niche market. I know it's like people who they're going to buy it because that's what they do, right? Like, I'm going to get this because this is what I get. I'm going to go here. And it becomes to me, it becomes very mundane and you get this. We always do this. We haven't changed this. We haven't changed that because either one or two things have happened. Either the fan base has not required you to make the change, right? Or two, you just don't want to make the change because just because you already have a niche market doesn't mean that there's not people that wouldn't enjoy the product and brand that you have, and you have to go search out those people. Why am I going to continue? I don't need to sell something to somebody who I know they're going to buy. Nike don't got to sell shit to me. I'm going to buy it. Now, Polo, you might have to go out your way. You might have to make that. You might have to make this T-shirt really make sense for me. Right? But for people who love Polo, you don't have to sell Polo to them. They already know what it is and they know the brand they want it. A great marketer can make somebody who says, you know what, I never heard about this. Let me check it out. That you got to get the new customer, the next guy, right? So it's one of those things, and I think that's where a lot of this is lacking. Once again, I'm gonna say this: I don't have either side of the fence you want to choose. You want to play Power Fives and give your players an opportunity? Great. You don't want to play Power Fives and you want to insulate? That's your choice as well. But with both come pros and consequences. That's just life, right? Dion goes to Jackson State. He makes this big thing. We killing our players to get checks, and we killing our players to do this. But you're also limiting the exposure and the talent to show off for said player. Now, you can say whatever you want about Dion getting James Houston drafted. Okay, 20 sacks, it happened. He got his way. Isaiah Bolden the same way without having to play a Power 5. But the funny thing is, though, both of those players came from Power 5 schools. Both of those players came from high-level Power 5 schools and had Power 5 tape. James Houston, 3 years at Florida, as well as Florida State, right? So you gotta roll with me. Gotta roll with me. The reason why North Dakota State is respected the way that it is because the way that they win at a high level, they win national championships, and they play Power 5 competition, and they beat Power 5 competition. They beat the Iowas, the Iowa States. So you can trust what you're scouting from the O-lineman, from the running back, because they do it at a high level. That's my little 2 cents on that. And listen, the draft is going to keep telling you every year of more and more that they care more about the name across the jersey and on the helmet than they actually do scouting. And you have to get that out your mind. Listen, Mr. Campbell tells me this, 85 to 90% of the players are always going to come from Power 5. It just is what it is. Nobody wants to lose their job for trying to find the diamond in the rough in the 3rd round from an HBCU. All right, you really got to turn some heads because nobody wants to lose their job. Nobody wants to lose their good job with benefits, paying them good money. It just ain't it, man. So listen, I'm not trying to bash anybody. I'm really not, right? I know I can get on here and be harsh in a lot of ways and going back and forth. But at the end of the day, I just want somebody to make a decision. If it's for each individual program, that's fine. What works for FAMU might not work for Grambling. What works for Grambling might not work for PV. What works for UAPB might not work for Jackson, right? So everything doesn't have to always be a big black cohesion, like all kumbaya, right? Like FAMU can say, you know what? We have a brand of wanting to put players in. We want to have a brand that says we put players in the NFL, right? So we're going to continue to keep playing the Troys, the South Floridas, the Miamis, right? The Central Florida. Like we're going to keep playing those type of teams and going from there. And then you can have Southern where they're like, we're not going to play those teams. We're okay playing the Lincolns, the D2 this, and all SWAC schedule and all that type of stuff. And they can be fine with that. So I would say to each his own. 9197 coming to you.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty?
What's up, man? What's your name? Where you calling from?
This Earl. I'm calling from DC.
Talk to me.
So I got another caveat that I want to throw into the mix here of what you're saying, because what you're saying makes a lot of sense. But another thing that we have to realize is we look at the HBCU combine, correct?
Yeah.
That is supposed to be where the top players from HBCU go to display their talents, correct?
Yes, sir.
So if we have linebackers and DB safeties going to this combine and they're running 4.8, that now puts, that makes it hard to draft guys that you're supposed to be the top talent in this conference. But now we're showing that, you might be a good receiver, but, this good receiver is going against a corner that runs a 4.7 and is 5'9".
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get you.
So So a lot of that, it makes it hard for me to now take a chance to where I'm going to probably draft somebody that I know has played against elite talent. Another thing that we have to look at is a lot of the schemes that are ran in these divisions. They're not really pro conducive. They're not really pro schemes.
Well, let me say this. I want to go back to what you said in the beginning, because I think you make a valid point, right? If anybody didn't watch the draft last night, I mean, or the over the weekend, Keon Coleman is a perfect example, right? He runs a 4.6 in the 40. The only reason he goes in the second round is because he's at Florida State and dominated. That's the only. So even though the speed might not be where you want it to be, his tape tells you that is that good because he's going against top talent and dominating, right? So you can't run a 4.6 in the SWAC and dominate. It don't work the same because they're not going to trust the competition that you're playing. So I just want to caveat on what you were saying, but go ahead.
Right. And then, again, with Keon Coleman running a 4.6, he's also 6'5", so that makes a little bit of a difference.
It doesn't. It really doesn't, because if you put Keon Coleman in the SWAC, put him at Alabama State, put him at FAMU, he's not a second round pick.
True.
Yeah, you take Keon Coleman and you drop him at FAMU instead of Florida State. He's not a draft pick. He's not.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what you said, like him, producing at a level he is going against talented corner, which the talented corner is also, running sub 4.5.
Exactly. 4.3,
exactly. And being able to display his playmaking ability, that definitely makes a difference. But I just think that there's a lot of things that have to be considered about why players aren't getting drafted. And I don't like this. I mean, maybe it's a little bit to have to do it, but I don't think it's so much that they're just trying to keep HBCUs down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think it's so much of a race thing. I think there's, like you pointed out what Josh said, like we have to start looking internally about what's going on. Like Amin Dankwa, big guy, he's huge. He's a monster of a young man, but he's not the strongest guy. When he makes contact, it's not dominant. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's playing against these itty bitty D linemen. So if you're that big playing in that conference, every time we run behind you should be 5 yards.
That's
every
fair.
time.
I
shouldn't
get
be
it.
Giving up sacks to FAMU linemen. It can't happen. So, that's just my take on it. I think that, again, we got to start looking at ourselves. We got to get some quality strength and conditioning coaches in these programs to get these players to where they need to be.
All right, man. I appreciate the call, though, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me say this, because I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, Scotty, if Keon Coleman was in the SWAC, he would have. No. Listen, I'm telling you this right now. He would not have been drafted. Listen, you give me a receiver. I want to put stuff in. See, y'all talking hypotheticals, right? I'm talking in facts. If you had a receiver in the SWAC that went for 50 catches, 658 yards, and 11 touchdowns, I don't care where you think he played, he's not getting drafted. He is not running a 4.6. Thank you. The Bama ran a 4.6. The only reason he got drafted is he played at Florida State. That's it. At Florida, 1 catch. North Alabama, 3 catches. Like, I don't know what y'all talking about. I really, y'all, listen, man, I'm going to keep telling y'all, I don't have no emotion when I'm talking. I'm giving you straight facts. If a receiver in the SWAC was 6'4" and had 658 yards and 50 catches at 6'4", he's not getting drafted. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. Coach Green, coming to you. Coach Green. Coach Green. Call back in, Coach Green. Right? So listen, that's not it's not what you think it is, all right? So listen, I want to be very clear. I love Keon Coleman. All right. Hey, Coach Green, you live.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because some reason it say press star 6 to unmute. For some reason it said that to me, so I hit star 6 and then you couldn't hear me no more.
My fault.
But anyway, I'm gonna say this, man. The issue is not necessarily always competition, because like I know, it's a lot of nuisance to get drafted. It's a lot they take into. It ain't just about who you play and all that. It's a lot of stuff it takes into that. Because, like I said, you can always look to the D2 players that get drafted. Because they haven't played one Power 5 school. So it's more to how you look when they break down the tape. Something that you always do. You break down tape on certain players, and you be like pointing out certain stuff they're not good at that they need to be good at. It's about how you look on tape, your measurables, and your stopwatch time. All that, they take all that into consideration, and I'm gonna agree with you on this. It's about the name on the jersey a lot for a lot of them folks that get drafted.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of them folks don't even make the team, and somebody undrafted make the team before a person that actually got drafted. A lot of these undrafted people have been making teams lately. And it's about being, and this is another thing you have to look at. It's about FBS, the word FBS, because not that many FCS schools got players drafted. And I feel like, and I'm gonna always feel like this. If the SWAC was FBS, more players would get drafted.
I agree, because they will have to play better competition.
Yeah, they're gonna be playing in some schools in the Sun Belt more often and all that.
I'll give you a perfect example, right? And this is what happens, and this is, listen, y'all can say whatever you want, but this is what happens. If, let's say, Southern goes out and plays South Alabama and they beat South Alabama, right? And now you take that victory into your conference, right? It's no different than if Alabama State went out and beat a Marshall or beat a Tulane, right? Like, you take that win back into your conference, and now your conference is looked at. So when you beat a Southern and you beat they it's not perfect science, but they be like, oh man, if that means Jackson State probably could have beat Tulane too. Southern beat Tulane. I know it's not exact science, but people do that, right? That's how. Yeah. That's why they always put conferences against each other in the bowl games. They be like, "Oh, the SEC." Go ahead, Coach.
This is what I'm gonna add though. The people in Group of 5 and Power 5, something they don't want. They don't want HBCU to be part of FBS really, because then they'll really be in trouble. Because most eyes gonna come to us just the fact of being FBS.
I agree,
and that's how I feel about it. I feel like that in my gut. If we was to do that, they gonna feel scared and threatened, because eyes really gonna be on us being FBS.
I agree.
And that's my piece right there.
No, I agree with you, Coach Green, man. A lot of people in the chat agree with you too. I appreciate the call, Coach Green. Let me say this. I don't, and I saw Zoe comment. He said, I think he thinks Keon Coleman's a bad example. I think it's a perfect example. you're not listen, bro. So you can say whatever you want. You're not letting that. If you're coming from a SWAC, they're not letting that 4-6 ride. I don't care what nobody say. I don't give a damn how good Keon Coleman is. If he runs a 4-6 in the SWAC, they're not letting that ride. They're not letting it ride. He would have, and then remember, mind you, he probably only played one Power 5 game in that schedule. So if he didn't show up and show out in that game, probably 8 catches, $120, a tub or 2 tubs, it's not working. It ain't working. It's really simple. That 4-6 would have killed him in the SWAC. Zoe called in. What's up, Zoe?
What's up, man? Here's my thing.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to say that you're wrong. I'm not going to say that you're wrong in that. But I can also say you're right. But I can also give an argument to say, to your point that you made earlier, but what if that same player in the SWAC, let's say they played Auburn, and then Auburn had a highly ranked cornerback, and he dog walked that cornerback. Because that's why the reason why I say Keon Coleman isn't a good example is because, mind you, his stats, if you look at his stats alone, no, they aren't great. But if you watch the game, he dominated when he played. So that gave credence to it. So again, that goes to what we say, right? It's competition. You see what he does, he passed the eye test. So again, if I use that same player in the SWAC, if he had 2 really good opportunities, to your point, with regards to competition, and it may not always be a Power 5, I could use a Toledo, because remember, they had a first-round draft pick from Toledo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say that same player from the SWAC has a game against Toledo. They play Toledo, and that SWAC team, they lose bad. But you have a receiver who dominated that cornerback. And then let's say they play Auburn that same year, and they dominate a cornerback, and he only has 60 catches. But if he shows that tape, and then they see what it does in practice, then again, you can sit there and say, oh, this was his stats were. We can also add, what if that same player for the SWAC was on Alabama State? I can use the boy from Alabama State last year. Had a horrible quarterback, but he put up numbers in those games, but that gives credence to the limited stats-wise, right?
Yeah, Keyshawn Johnson.
Quarterback
yeah,
play.
Keyshawn Johnson.
But in those games, he dominated. That can give credence to getting drafted.
So
I would say otherwise, you will be spot on. But it's not a tried and true thing to say there's no pathway in hell if he has these stats, he doesn't get drafted.
My thing is this: you're asking a lot. Like the situation would have to be perfect for him, right? He couldn't be playing at a Southern University when they had Dooley and they had a whole SWAC schedule. That doesn't benefit him, right? It doesn't benefit him if he plays. If he goes to maybe a Jackson that one year, maybe because I didn't really play. I got Campbell that one year. The ULM game probably would have helped him, right? Like it all.
No. I'm to your. That's what you're not getting me. See, to your point, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah,
I'm agreeing with you in that sense. So what I'm saying is everything has to line up perfectly. Because I can even say the same thing about the Kobe Durant, right? I mean, guess what? The football guys just so happen to have Clemson scheduled that year. So it's safe to say that if they don't play Clemson, and he had the measurables,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
He doesn't get drafted. So that brings my point. So what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. The schedule has to line up, right?
Yeah.
You have to have those type of performances in those types of games to give credence to it. All I'm saying is, you don't. We typically in the SWAC, you have to have eye-popping numbers. We get it. It is what it is. But you can circumvent it by by having 3 good games against 3 quality opponents. I'm not talking about the teams per se. It could be an individual matchup. Like I could use Khalil Mack. He played at Buffalo. They sucked ass. He won the first round.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I know you say it's Buffalo, but man, ain't nobody checking for the damn Mack. You see what I'm saying? But again, the guy from Toledo just got drafted. So, and he was the best cornerback in the Super Bowl. So the point that I'm getting at is yeah, you're right. In the SWAC, we have to have, we got to do better scheduling. Nobody can argue that. All I'm saying is, you use Keon Coleman. If we have that same player in the SWAC, if he happened to have 2 or 3 good ass games against quality opponents, and I'm not forget ULM, we're not going to use them. So let's say you got an Auburn, you got a Toledo, they're a MAC school. You got 3 well-respected opponents facing you that's highly respected. That's only going to help you.
I agree. I agree with you, but I'll tell. This is my only pushback. I think if everything was perfect, he's still not a second round pick. He's still not a second round pick. He drafted though. He's drafted. He's not a second round pick.
I'm gonna say this. Here's the thing. This is why I give you pushback on. I can't argue that, but I'm gonna hit you with football 1-on-1. You could be right, but all it takes is what? One team to believe in him.
One team to believe in you. Yeah.
So you very well could be right, but I very well could be right too. But I did want to say this, and I'm gonna go.
Go ahead.
This is why I don't want to shift gears too bad, but I want to get on something that Coach Green mentioned earlier. This is why I was so pissed, and I know we're gonna say we're kicking a dead horse. This is why I always feel like the SWAC and the MEAC dropped the ball. Because, man, you actually got the best of both worlds. Hey, years ago, we moved up FBS. I don't care if you want to call it an HBCU Super Conference or however you dream it up. But, man, I'm sorry. The MAC, you can clip this. The MAC gives nothing. Conference USA gives nothing. The Sun Belt is a damn good football conference. So when you talk about the pageantry and everything that you can get from an HBCU standpoint, if there was an HBCU legit FBS conference, don't sit here and tell me that we couldn't do what the MAC is. I mean, and because again, you're going to naturally get players just because you're FBS. So just by virtue of us getting better talent alone across the board, and this is before the portal was advented.
Yeah,
we would have streamlined talent going to the HBCUs. You get the best of both worlds. Now, granted, we're probably not going to still be winning against the SEC and things of that nature. But guess what? Does the MAC do it right now? Hell no. The Sun Belt barely does it. They can clip a bottom feeder SEC team every now and again. But man, have we been getting that talent? Plus, with the viewership and the odds and the numbers that we could do, we severely dropped the ball because we would not be having this conversation right now. We would not be having players going year after year after year, not getting drafted if there was a tangible HBCU FBS conference. We should have had this, man, 10 to 15 years ago. And then, because if you add to that conference was already set in stone. Now, picture a Deion Sanders. Picture Eddie Robinson like coming into that particular conference. It really takes it off the hinges.
Yeah.
We severely dropped the ball in that point. I just wanted to call it and make that point.
No problem.
We got to do better, man. You're dead right, Scotty, on the scheduling. We need to have a moratorium about no D2s, no NAIA schools. If you want to say, hey, we can't schedule any SEC schools, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you want to say all we're going to schedule is Conference USA, American, and Sun Belt schools, do that. But we got to do better across the board on that, bro.
I agree. Appreciate the calls, though. Let me say, I'm JB. I'm gonna go to Mr. D. JB, I got your question pulled up. I'm gonna answer this. I'm gonna answer it. Then I'm gonna click on you to respond, and then we can go further. Okay. So, Mr. D. Then I'm gonna answer JB's question, and then I'm gonna bring JB on. Mr. D, coming to you.
What's going on, Scotty? How you doing, man?
What's up, Mr. D? Talk to me.
All right, look, I think we're looking at, I'm going to put another twist to this, and I think I'm going to try to get everybody to see this. We're looking at it from the player perspective, but I think we need to look at it from the NFL team perspective. So I got a good friend. His son is a scout for a team. This team loves the MAC conference. Okay.
Oh, wow.
They pull a lot of they love the MAC conference. So why don't we do something like this? The SWAC needs to target one conference that we know that NF teams or two NFL teams pull from the MAC conference. So when you look back at it, you'll see the same teams pulling from the same conference. It's just like a corporation when they hire new people into their company. What schools are they pulling from? What schools are they pulling from? Okay. And so you go to those schools. So this is the same way. The SWAC will target the MAC conference. Say for the next 3 years, we're targeting the MAC conference. All of our schools are playing the MAC conference schools. So you playing your Kent State, your Toledo, right? When you start beating those schools, then you start putting that tape on, and then those NFL teams who looking at the MAC conference, because that's where they pull from, they said, well, wait a second. This HBCU school has beaten our school that we pulled from for 3 years in a row. Let's start looking at these players. That's the approach I think we have to start doing. You have to target the NFL team, not you. The conference has to target the team, and then you target the conference where they're pulling from, and then you slowly start adding in the other conferences based on what other NFL teams are pulling from. Because see, that's how you. If we get our players and drafted in the 3rd and 4th round, and they're getting pulled, but they only on 2 or 3 teams. Who cares? They're in the NFL.
Yeah, they in the NFL.
What are your thoughts on that?
No, I like it. I mean, listen, I think there should be some type of like how the SWAC basketball plays the Pac-12. And we have been, and it's been like 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Like SWAC schools have been getting the best of the Pac-12 conferences in that matchup. I agree. I think there needs to be, like, you match it with the Sun Belt. You can match up with the MAC. You know, whatever you want to match up with, pick your conference, match it up, and then play. You know what I'm saying? Because that gives you that gives you an equality opponent. And you still got another game that's free. That if you want to schedule a Vanderbilt, if you want to schedule another low-level Power 5, you know what I'm saying? If you want to play a Kansas or Kansas State or Texas Tech, you know what I'm saying? Like, play those. Like my man said, Kevin said, Conference USA. What's up?
Yeah, because so like the Steelers, you know, I'm still a nation all the way.
Boo.
The Steelers pulled. We look at our draft, boys. Tight. Look, for example, where does Cowboys pull from? What conferences they pull from?
They love Boise State. We've drafted a few players from Boise State.
Okay, so now what conference they in? I don't know what conference.
I think it's the WAC, or I don't know. I don't know what conference that is.
So you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Every team loves a conference that they pull from. So instead of getting these guys like right now, we have a shotgun approach. We just saying, okay, we just playing with various schools, but it's not targeted. If you target a particular conference or the SWAC guy could do this data. If you pull up all the 32 teams, which teams pull from the majority of the conferences, and then you start targeting the low-level conferences that you can hit first, and then you'll see what NFL teams that they pull from. I guarantee you, we start doing that, we're going to start seeing our players get drafted in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounds.
I like it. And listen,
because that undrafted free agent is bullshit because, bro, it's not, you know, like I told you before, I've had 2 cousins that played in NFL. Getting drafted is easy. Staying on a team is the hard part after that first year. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you got to stay on the team after the 3rd year, because after the 3rd year,
invested,
you get lifetime insurance.
Yeah.
So those are the key. But anyway, man, keep up the great work.
No, appreciate it, Mr. D. Appreciate the call.
Okay.
So let me go here because I want to go back to JB's question, right? He says, can we get our athletic budgets up first? And listen, let's put all this into context, because before I go and then I bring JB on, I want to put everything in context. Before y'all Bamas knew what the price was to jump to a conference, y'all was saying the same thing of we can't afford it, right? Before y'all even knew what the price was, half you Bamas didn't even know. Let me say this. You don't need an athletic budget if everybody in your conference is broke. So if you move up together as one broke conference, everybody broke. So there is no, I got to get my athletic budget up because I'm only competing with the other broke ninjas in my conference. If you're North Carolina A&T and you jump into a white conference, right? And then you got to compete with other white Bamas that got money, then makes you look broker than what you are. Okay? So if you move up together, it doesn't look that bad. If you start splitting off, then everybody looks broke. All right. JB, coming to you.
Thank you for addressing my call, Scotty. How you doing today?
No problem, man. What you got, JB?
Yeah. Okay, forgive me because I was kind of late coming on, so I see you guys been talking about this. So I don't want to recycle any points, and if I do, I apologize in advance. There were 12 FCS guys chosen, 4 from the Missouri Valley, 2 from the Ivy League, 2 from Southland, 1 from CAA, 1 from Big South OVC, 1 from the Patriot League, 1 from United Athletic Conference. It's a new kind of like merger conference they had. For people who keep talking about this is a conspiracy against HBCU schools and players, y'all really need to start paying attention to the lay of the land. No FCS guys are getting drafted. I think there was maybe 1 D2 guy that got picked up and 3 international guys that were drafted, rugby players and whatnot. They're going for the P5 FBS players. That's who they're targeting. Now, one thing that we probably should start asking about is, okay, how many of these people that were drafted are transfers from FCS schools? That's the question we should be asking as well. But I kind of want to hit on something else too, and if you don't mind. The kind of like, we hear this every single year. We hear about the scheduling. We hear about, we got to do better stuff like that. And Joe made a good point as well too. The scheduling has to improve. But see, this is where the rubber meets the road. Everyone, we talk about scheduling tougher. We talk about getting better with this. But the one roadblock we keep having is people saying, I don't want to lose our classics. I don't want to lose these traditions we have. I don't want to lose these HBCU versus HBCU matchups. That's the issue that we have and whatnot. We keep getting into our own way with some of those things. Now, in terms of seeing how some of these other schools are react as well, one thing I noticed about these other FCS teams, when their guys get drafted, it's like, hallelujah, oh my goodness, we finally got picked up. I think Houston Christian had a guy, Ed Christian, that was drafted, the first draft pick ever in the program's history. It was like, nice. A&M Commerce had a guy drafted, first time ever in the program's history. These guys are celebrating that. But I think the difference between us and them is that we are, quote unquote, expecting our guys to get drafted. And we're not doing anything to say why we should get drafted. For example, a lot of people brought up Davis Richard, the guy from North Carolina Central. A lot of people say, okay, well, he should be drafted. He should be drafted. I just one guy. I said, okay, compare his stats with the previous Tony Watson Award winners, Trey Lance, Eric Berrier, Cole Kelly, Lindsey Scott. Scott, I'm going to ask you, was Davis Richards better than any of the 4 players I just mentioned?
No.
Okay.
Not playing.
And
Not playing quarterback. He's more he's not. I would take Cole Kelly over Davis Richards. That's just me personally, because I feel like he's kind of the same player, but bigger, taller, like and stronger. But playing quarterback, no, he's not better than any of those guys playing quarterback.
Yes, exactly. And so we have our guys talking about our guys being disrespected, our guys should be drafted. But when you bring up the stats in terms of what other people are doing, and you see they're not on the same playing field, you throw it back to them and say, okay, why should we get drafted again? And say, why should we represent? I said, that's not what I asked you. If we're going by stats, if we're going by what pro scouts look for, like stats, measurables, and everything else, you see we're not there. Now, and so most of the people are going, it's going to land the plane very, very soon. One thing that folks okay, well, some teams should have a mandate on HBCU players getting drafted, or there should be some kind of action. No, you shouldn't. The NFL, and I hate to say it like this, going to sound bad, it's not a quota system. It's not an affirmative action system. The best of the best get drafted. It's like less than 0.1% of eligible people get drafted. Sometimes we hit, sometimes we don't. That's life. That's all across the board. And I'm glad you guys are talking about scheduling. And Scotty, you said the same thing last year when the draft names came up too. Improve the scheduling. You said we're going to have the same conversation year after year because we haven't grown up yet from a scheduling perspective. You got to grow up from a scheduling perspective. We're going to get better.
Absolutely, man. Hey, JB, as always, man, appreciate the call.
Thank you, sir.
Listen, I think that's a great game. I think North Carolina, Wake Forest, I think that's a great game, man. Listen, you can play a Wake Forest. They gonna beat you, but they ain't gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? You can play at UNC Charlotte, East Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with those games. Let me say this, because somebody said, Scotty, do we have enough money for the 85 scholarships or whatever, right? If you would stop paying coaches $300,000, you would have some leftover funds for your schollies. Okay? Listen, man, I'm telling you this right now. Listen, y'all can say whatever you want. There's enough coaches in the world that you do not have to keep playing the same black people $300,000. You can find a competent head coach as long as you open that pool up, that they can be white, black, polka dot, Hispanic. If they understand the game of football, you can bring them up to your level and give them an opportunity, because the opportunity alone is worth the price tag. Okay? It's worth the price tag. So, come on, man. What are we talking about? 74-31 coming to you, and then 92-23. Hey, calling you live.
Yo, sorry, this Bridges. What's up, bro?
What's up, Bridges? Talk to me.
Man, this is all I gotta say to the people, man. The NFL is about business. It ain't about likes. It ain't about cliques. It ain't about who you want on what team. At the end of the day, it's about a business, and it's about a quota. That's what it comes down to when it comes to the NFL. They don't care about the HBCUs and the SCS and all that. They care about business. They care about putting talent on field that's going to look good for them, not for you. And like that comparison you made to Scotty earlier, think about this. If Xavier Smith would have played at Florida State, he would have been a round 2, probably late round 1.
Think about this. In my opinion, Xavier Smith is him and Tank Dale are like 1A, 1B. And Tank Dale went 3rd round. You get what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so if we're comparing apples to apples, if Xavier Smith went to UH, he's a 4th round pick with better stats. Well, no. Because Tank Dale had about like 1,100 yards and stuff like that. So I can't say better stats, but they're pretty much one and the same. You get what I'm saying? So if you compare the stats wise, but you got Xavier Smith would have had to have done that on that level, but they're both the same player though. But go ahead.
Yeah, so like it's like you were saying earlier, it's really about the competition and who we play and how we play them and what we play. That's what it comes down to, and that's what people fail to realize. Then what people fail to realize too is a lot of undrafted players play in the NFL. They get their start in the NFL. Some of y'all favorite players that y'all like are undrafted.
That's
so
fair.
It's not about, this, or this. It's about a business. It's about what can we get for cheap.
Yeah.
If we can get all these HBCU players for cheap, that's what we're going to do.
That's business.
Because all the Power Fives, that's what we're going to get right now. We can get all of them on the back end.
Yeah.
It's just a business, man. That's all it is. And people overthinking, and that's really about it.
Nah, I appreciate that, B. Appreciate the call, Bridges.
All right, peace.
Listen. 92-23, I'm coming to you right after this point, right? I like what A&T Roy says. It comes down to talent, but it also comes down to business. Talent and business. Does your talent outweigh the business? Because look, I'll tell you this. An NFL team looks at you like this. Are you an impact player to take me to whatever I need, right? Super Bowl, playoff, whatever. Are you an impact player? And are you, the reason you get drafted where you get drafted is because they don't want somebody else to come get you, right? So your value is placed on the round because they're like, hey, you're not worth the 1st round pick of you. Listen, thank you, God. We've all been at the playground. Most of you Bamas, right? You pick based on talent. When you go to 24-hour fitness, you pick the guy that you've been seeing jump out the gym. Oh yeah, he on my team. Yeah, let me get big man right there. Right? Let me get the shooter right there. That's how it works. It's the same concept. So does your talent outweigh your competition? Does your talent outweigh the need to have us get you earlier, right? So it's one of those things. But for the NFL is this. If I can get a high-level talent for a cheap price, I'm going to do that. That's capitalism to the fullest, right? You can get, would you not want 5 Hispanics at the price of $5 an hour or $10 an hour than 2 white men for the price of $20 an hour? You get what I'm saying? Like, it correlates. Is a job going to get done and I'm going to save some money on the back end, or it's going to be faster than me having to get these 2 white men who going to overcharge me? They're going to take 6 months, or I can get 5 Hispanics. I'm going to pay them $10 each. They're going to be done in a week. It's all about business and how that correlates. And if I can get a high level talent for a very, 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 very cheap price, right? And you still become an impact player. It's one of those things. 9223 coming to you.
Got it. What's going on?
What's up, man? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this Ted's calling from Tuskegee.
Talk to me.
Hey, man, I just want to say this. You were right. It's all about what you do. The competition really don't matter. But if you can't go for 200 yards against Mississippi Valley or Arkansas Pine Bluff, you shouldn't be worried about getting drafted.
Thank you, sir. That's half the battle right there. You know, show up when you're supposed to show up.
That's right. And I want to say this. In 2000, Tuskegee had 3 people drafted in the first 5 rounds.
Oh, wow.
Tracy Florence in the second round, a 12-year NFL vet. We had Roosevelt Williams in the 3rd round. He played about 4 or 5 years, but he did start at corner. And we had Frank Walker in the 5th round, who played for the Giants, Ravens, Packers, Vikings, Cowboys, and Titans. And then none of them played nothing outside of HBCU competition. If you're a dog, they'll find you. You just got to be a dog.
I like it, man. I like that. Thank you so much for the call.
All right.
Can we say that though? I'm sorry. We gotta hold these players accountable as well. If you're playing Valley in UAPB and you're a quarterback and you're only putting up 200 yards, what are we doing? You're not getting drafted. Okay, I'm sorry. Now I get having a bad game, but listen, you gotta understand. Like people, I tell all quarterbacks, and if I was talking to Andrew, I'll tell Andrew right now. This is why I did not want Andrew Body to go to Alabama State. Do you know why Cameron Ward has made the jumps that he's made? Because every level he's at, he either excels or meets the standard of that level. When he was in the FCS, he threw for over 4,000 yards. I think it was like 5,000 if I'm not mistaken, but he threw over 4,000 yards. And made the jump from Incarnate Word to Washington State. At Washington State, he threw for over 2,500 yards. And now he's at Miami. There is a level of excellence that you have to show to make these jumps that people want to do. Right? So you can't be at an HBCU throwing for 2,000 yards and think you're going to be all world. It don't happen like that. If you listen, you got to be 3,000. Listen, if you're looking to make the jump, and I told Andrew Body's dad this, I said Andrew needs to be 3,000, 1,000. Passing for 3,000 and running for 1,000. If you're trying to make the jump up, because it's like this, right? The higher you go, the lower your stats are going to be. So if you threw for 4,000 yards at FCS, they're not going to expect you to throw for 4,000 at FBS. It might be 35, 3,000, right? Because the competition level is going up. Everybody else is a little bit better. Those throws become a little bit harder. But if you throw it for 2,000 yards and trying to make a jump up, are you out your cotton picking mind? Unless you're just physically gifted and the offense was just so bad that it's just like, hey, man, I did all I could and I still threw for 2,000 yards or whatever, right? Okay, cool, whatever. But come on, man, let's keep it a buck. 1296 coming to you, and then I'm Coach Green. You're my last one. We'll move on.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty? How you doing, bro?
What's up, man? Talk to me.
You letting players call in too, or just only
anybody call in.
Okay. So let me look at it like this, right? Like JB said, and Bridget said, it's a business, right? So basically, pretty much looking at it like this: if everybody is so infatuated and it's the competition, why don't, like I think you said a couple of shows back, whatever y'all got to do to get out of the SWAC and get out of the MEAC, why don't everybody, all the HBCUs, D2, it don't matter, D1, come together and put it in, let's call it the conference HBCU, and go Power 5 or go Group of 5. Problem solved. And then here's the problem. Like you said, it's a business, like a lottery. If I can get the highest overseas players at Power 5, and we got to get them to 20, 30 million because they got all the fame and the stock, I'm going to keep getting the HBCU talent for the lower amount because it's smarter. So by keeping these schools in the SWAC and the MEAC with a little bit of light and attention of everything you talked about, they're not doing nothing but making the NFL scouts take these players at a lower amount because the price tag or the value of it is not like Power 5. So what about that? What about just taking all the HBCUs, getting out of the SWAC and the MEAC, and bringing them together and call it conference HBCU?
Okay,
and go to Group of 5 and Power 5.
Okay, let me listen. I love the concept, right? But this is the part where the realistic part, right? First of all, the buy-in money to get to FBS is just ridiculous now. It used to be $15,000. Now it's like $1 million or $3 million, something crazy like that. And then also you got to understand, once you cross that white picket fence, you got to have some NIL money. And if you don't have no NIL money, which a lot of these HBCU schools do not, you're literally FCS in FBS clothing, right? Like that's really what you are. It's like when like getting a hand-me-down for your big brother, right? Like, it don't fit you, but you got to wear it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, dang, this don't really look good on me. I got this big baggy sweater. I got these jeans that don't fit. My shoes flopping out the back, but this all I got. Right? That's what happens when you cross up into that white world, in that FBS world, is now when you go look at this talent, they're not asking you what your culture like. They're asking you what them dollars look like. You get what I'm saying? It's just a different world. And HBCUs cannot play in that world because they don't have the boosters, nor do they have the money behind them to make those purchases for top level talent. So you'll get some FBS here or there kids because they like HBCUs, but you still won't be as competitive as you like because you can't rock with the NIL money.
Yeah, but once you start winning after a while, you could probably build that.
No, man, it don't work like it. Don't listen, bro. Just because you win at football games does not mean you're going to get NIL money. That's not how that works. NIL money and collectives work from your alumni base, right? When you're talking about a Michigan State whose alum is the owner or CEO of Rocket Mortgage, where the alum of Michigan State, one of the alums of Michigan State is Ish, the Phoenix Suns owner. Right, you're talking about a different level of money, right? You're talking about a Georgia Tech alum who owns Truist Bank, like he's the C. Like that's a different. They look at that as fantasy football for them. You get what I'm saying? Like you're talking about a different level of money. It's play money for them. $1 million, $5 million, $10 million. That's play money for them. It's just different, right, man. Texas A&M and all that Texas oil money. You got Arkansas, whose alum is Jerry Jones. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just a different level. Oregon with, Oregon and Nike and Phil being an alum of Oregon. Like, it's just a different level of money. I'm sorry. And it's not to say that we don't want that. It's just we don't have that type of level of money.
Right. I get what you're saying. Yeah, different levels.
Just different levels, man. And it doesn't mean that I don't want it to come off to anybody like money is better than the culture. It doesn't. But in the day and age where kids want to get paid for their services, it does. If NIL was not around and the HBCUs came up and there was no NIL, like if it was like the Reggie Bush days and all that type of stuff, yeah, you can compete because it's hard saying no to a whole bunch of 30 100, 200 beautiful black women, 1,000 beautiful black women, and your whole football team black. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can sell that to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they're playing the same people. If we're playing the same level and you got these beautiful black women walking around with barely anything on, sign me up, right? So, but when you add that money aspect, it's like you, right? Like, I don't know what you do for work, but if somebody offered you more money and you're kind of like, I kind of don't like the job, it's kind of far away, but they offering you money you just can't say no to, it's hard to say no. It just is.
Let me come up with a good point. This is the last time I'm gonna say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know you got to go.
No, you good.
What if they took, like, you know how they were saying the money games? What if they took the money games and put most of that money aside and stacked it up for NIL and then tried to get other alumni donors and just build that as time go on? I
like that. No, okay. I think that's a great idea, and you stay in the FCS lane. See, okay, you can do it either one or two ways. And I think JB said this, or somebody said this about a program that did that. What they would do is they would budget. You know what? Mickey Joseph said what he would do, what he's trying to do with Grambling and any of their money games is they won't use the money for that year to pay for that year athletics, if you get what I'm saying. It will be like they are saving that money up so that if they need something for the football team for next year or whatever, it kind of will work like that, and it kind of be like their own little savings plan. But listen, I love the idea. I think it's a great idea, but everybody in the school has to be on the same page of how that money is going to be used, because you know how it is, like in a black household, you getting birthday money, you don't know where your birthday money went. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be for you, but somehow, you had 100, now you only got 50. You're like, hey, I know I got 100. Well, you see these lights on? That's where that other 50 went. You get what I'm saying? So it's HBCU is just an embodiment of the black household of how that money comes in does not mean it's the same way going out.
And that's why I ain't gonna lie to you, being a recruit, and a lot of friends I had that being recruited, coaches need to change the sales pitch. Because it's exactly, if at home, away from home, but we don't want that. No, I'm gonna be quiet because I'm in the transfer portal. I'm saying too much, but we don't want that no more. We want something totally different.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, bro. I appreciate the call, though, bro. Hey, Coach Green, hit me up on the back half. I'm gonna do another segment and hit me up on the back half. 0536 coming to you. Hey, calling you live.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty?
What's up, man?
Look, man, why are we fooling ourselves? You've had this same conversation for 2-3 years straight. Look, we can't even keep our dorms up, much less trying to compete at the, I don't even want to even talk about FBS level. There are D2 programs, high-end D2 programs, there are light years ahead of a lot of HBCU programs in terms of how they keep their athletics up and so on and so forth. It's a frivolous argument, man. Look, the people who attend HBCUs don't even really love HBCU sports like that. They don't even take it seriously. When you first started this journey, I called in and talked and expressed some things. Of course, you had to cut me off. He's like, oh, whoa, I can't do it. Look, man, they're mismanaged, okay? People more concerned with the tailgates and the band and all that kind of stuff more than they are galvanizing and keeping the athletics at a high level. There are some universities that are trying to do the best that they can, like A&T, FAMU, so on and so forth. I can't really say FAMU with who's in control over there. But at the end of the day, man, it's a frivolous argument, Scotty. It really is, man. I mean, I know we want to, dream that we could be and do that. But if you even listen to the sports people, on some of these prognosticating shows, they have put HBCUs in their own category. They'll say HBCU, FCS, Group of 5, Power 5. They don't even include HBCUs in the FCS, which is what they're a part of in terms of the ones that can be at that level.
Yeah.
So it's Look, man, people don't take. And then another thing that I want to end with this. Another thing that HBCUs do, and I know this for a fact. Okay, they take a lot of the money. If I donate, let's say if I say I want to give $3 million to the athletic budget to be specifically used for the football, they'll take that money, they'll take a little picture and be all happy. And as soon as I leave the room, okay, they'll take that money and put it in the general fund. That's what a lot of HBCUs do. They're notorious for it. And that's why that money, a lot of money, because there are people who do donate money towards the athletic program, but it goes to the general fund, and it's all, well, we'll redistribute it out later. But hey, I'll leave it at that, man. Hey, keep rising, brother. I'm watching you, and I'll talk to you later.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Appreciate the call. Listen, guys. Listen, I can't. You can't have it both ways. And Coach Grant, I know you're gonna call in later, so make sure you keep your question, write it down, or make sure you. But listen, we can't keep saying HBCUs this and HBCUs that, and we can't do this and we can't move up, and then we get mad when people generalize. Listen, if my mom always say, if it don't affect you, let it roll off of you. Like, I get it. Like, this is in this atmosphere, right? In this spectrum, right? This is a family conversation, right? The 540 some people on here, I'll say about 400 either went to an HBCU, gone to an HBCU game, or have had experience with HBCUs. So it's not like I'm on CBS or Fox Sports, like, oh, HBCUs can't do shit right. We're not doing that. Okay. It's a family environment. Everybody's giving their opinion on the subject and topic. Just let Bama's rock, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just let Bama's rock. If they just say HBCUs instead of them specifically picking out one HBCU and say, man, I'm sick and tired of the way Southern University don't schedule, even though they don't be scheduling good. That's fair. He wouldn't be lying because y'all ninjas don't know how to schedule, but he didn't do that. He just said HBCU. Let's stop acting like HBCUs, right? You get what I'm saying? So come on, man. Let's keep it above. Let's just keep it chill. Let's keep it chill. All right. Now, real quick, because y'all threw me way left. I didn't know I was going to be on that for so long. Because y'all not even letting me get to the team.
Oh, goddamn.
Now, y'all know I love some mess. Y'all know I love some mess. Y'all know I love you know, I love a little tea. I won't even let me get to the. Y'all won't even let me get to the tea. Like, we cool with HBCU stuff. I'm trying to get to the tea. You know, like, gotta get to the tea. All right, cool. So, Shelomi Sanders. It kind of mini broke Twitter a little bit on HBCU Twitter. All right, Shelomi Sanders signs with Alabama A&M. She goes to the Bulldogs with Diva Dawn Thornton, you know what I'm saying, who I'm riding with, Big Buddha, like Perry said. It's how you be moving his head. Anyway, right? So a lot of people have asked me about my opinions about her playing basketball and what I think about her playing basketball. So I'm gonna give you some of the strengths and weaknesses that I think, and then where I think she'll fit into this scheme, right? Because I think a little bit of it, I think she's been done a disservice because of the team's Shelomi. I thought it was Shelomi, but it don't matter, all right? I think she's been done a little wrong just by her journey. I think a lot of people have looked down on her by her journey, right? Because if I'm being honest, she was never going to play at Jackson State. They were just too loaded, okay? Just too loaded, right? So it just is what it is. So strength, in my opinion, is she's a strong shooter and she has great effort, right? Great effort, strong shooter. And I think that's something that's just missing in the SWAC. It's just is great. I think she has the potential to be a great shooter in the SWAC. I really, really do believe that. And I'm going to say this, right? If you think that she's not good, that's your prerogative. But I've seen some white girls on Power 5 teams that all they're on the floor to do is shoot, and they're still productive. Shelomi, listen, Shelomi, Shalom, assalamu alaikum. I don't give a damn how you say her name. You know who the hell I'm talking about, okay? I don't give a damn. Assalamu alaikum, okay? That's her new name, assalamu alaikum. Sanders, stop playing with me. Salaikum salam, okay? Anyway, there's a lot of... Y'all pissing me off, okay? Y'all are pissing me off. Don't correct me again. Salam salaikum, okay? Salaikum Slanders. I don't give a damn. All right. So anyway, so there's people on the court that I've seen in mass bossy. Okay, bossy. All right, bossy, whatever. So there's a lot of teams that I've seen in the Power 5 level with them white girls that just run around the court. All they do is just stand in the corner. They shoot. They play a little defense. And at the end of the day, they're productive. I think Bossy can give you the same. She can give you the same. She can give you the same effort. She can give you the same effort, same energy, and be a great shooter for your team, right? So, but this is where the part of it is her weakness is she's a so-so ball handler, right? So don't expect her to take you off the dribble and do nothing crazy. She has a lack of experience, right? She hasn't played that much. So, there's going to be hiccups, and she's not very versatile. She's like a Klay Thompson, right? She needs the spot up. She needs to get set up. Now, do I think that Coach Don can get with her and coach her up, and maybe year 2, year 3, you see her do a little dribble pull up here and there, maybe take you off the dribble, a little jab step, right? I think with more playing time comes more experience, comes more confidence, and you see another side of her game that's possible. And if Prime is buying Tom Brady to teach his damn son to throw the football, maybe he can buy Sue Bird to help her dribble. Maybe he can get Don Staley to teach her a couple moves. I mean, goddamn, you paying Tom Brady to teach Shador? Teach, get a guard or one of them Candace Parker just retired. Get Candace Parker, teach her a few freaking moves, and do what you do. Okay, that's all I'm saying. If you care. I'm just saying. If you care. So, but what's really going down? Listen, if you have not seen the video that Pilar put out this weekend,
Oh, goddamn.
you have been living under a rock. You have been living under a rock. Okay, so you know me. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the video for you. Just for all the Bammers who ain't seen it, I'm gonna play the video for you. Okay. Now, I'm gonna just warn you. I'm going to die. I'm gonna jump in and jump out. I ain't gonna let it play all the way through because it's like 6 minutes. All right. So bear with me. I'm gonna jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out. All right, like double dutch. We're gonna be in that thing together. All right.
Oh, goddamn.
Here we go.
And I'm happy for you, and I will always be here supporting you because I'm a real mama who's present. You always talk about a present person. Don't stop talking about a present parent. Don't make me say more than I have to say.
I gotta stop it early. Do you know how bad of a parent? Now, mind you, Deion, I ain't calling him Coach Prime. We talking to Deion today. Deion Sanders has full custody of his kids. I'm going to say that again. Deion Sanders has full custody of his kids with Pilar, right? Shiloh, Shador, and Bossy, all right? He has full custody. Do you know how bad of a parent you have to be to have full custody and somebody says you're not a present parent? Do you know? Come on, man. Do you know? Okay, because I just got full custody of my kids. And if somebody told me I wasn't a present father when I got full custody, like them ninjas live with me in my house, come on, man. Let the tape roll.
Stop talking about being a present parent.
Stupid, like, can you at least act like you support me? Like, nigga, you're weird.
Who supported if he is the one who thought about it? So waking up to news of
Now that was a low-key shot. That was a low-key stab. You know how all right, no racism though. You know how them Hispanics be like, with the little knife, like that was like a low-key stab. That was a low-key stab. Cause Bossy, if I play it back, Bossy says, I wish you would support me. You know what I'm saying? That's a little weird. And then Pilar says, yeah, once he thinks about it. Look, little stab. Like the Dave, and you see the Dave Chappelle skit? Like The Real World with Dave Chappelle, when he walks up to the white man and he's like, oh, you stabbed me. Oh, you stabbed me. Yeah, that's how Pilar did him. All right, here we go. Continue.
Shelomi's decision to enter the portal, and her dad saying that it's basically stupid, or the decision or whatever is stupid.
Shelomi enters the transfer portal.
Yeah, which was stupid.
Okay. A lot of people...
You don't enter the portal. You get a team. You kind of get a team before you enter the portal. You don't... That's what I would advise a child. And I know, well, it's illegal. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Everybody knows somebody knows somebody.
Yeah.
You kind of want them to do something, and she has been truly advised. No, you got to understand, I'm a father, man. I'm a real father. I'm a real man. I'm a real dad. Where I come from, and historically, kids follow their parents. When do parents start following the kids?
Side why. So let's back up and just go to the beginning.
Okay. Can we, okay, listen. Is Deion wrong? No. In the sense of he's right that you have to find a team. You would like to find a team before you jump in the portal. The part that always gets Deion in trouble is, why do you have to say the shit out loud? Like, sometimes it makes me believe that Deion traditionally did not have he's been rich so long that he's forgotten how to be black. And in black households, we all know this. All six, if any of you Bamas is black, you all know this saying I'm about to say. Every black mama tells you this. What happens in this house stays in this house. And that is the problem with Deion. That is something you don't need to say to the public. She's your daughter. All you had to say was, listen, it didn't work out in Colorado. I wish my daughter could have stayed with me, but all I can do is wish for her. I hope she has the best opportunity. I'm rooting for her. I love her. On the phone talking to your daughter, you know that was stupid, right? Why would you jump in the portal? Come on, man. You got to be smarter than that. So what I'm saying is, what he's saying is a good what he's saying is a good father. It makes you a better father if you say it behind closed doors. That's it. That's it. Just say it behind closed doors. That makes you a great father. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's my issue with it, is we all know as black people, you don't air your business out. You keep that shit in house. So if you had a problem with her jumping in the portal, we should not have known about it. That's my only issue with what Deion said. What he said is right. Just do it behind closed doors, period. All right, let's continue.
Shelomi was never given a fair chance to really get recruited, okay? Because when recruitment started out of high school, going into college, and she was having colleges and universities starting to contact her. But the minute they did, yeah.
everyone already thought I was going to JSU, so.
And they thought she was going to JSU because somebody got on the media line and said, of course, where else is she going to go? She's going to come to JSU. So people who are in sports have a certain level of respect just because of the time that he did in the NFL and in baseball and whatever. And we were told about that. Coaches told me about that. Coaches told other professional athletes that we know about that. So that completely stopped Shelomi short of having the whole experience of being recruited, which I thought was very unfair to her. It was very unfair to the colleges and fans that wanted to see her go places, that wanted that experience, period. A year ago, she goes ahead and she goes to Jackson, like all the kids did. And Shiloh leaves the SEC to support Deion. Okay? All right. So now all the kids are there supporting his vision to coach college football. He decided to go to Colorado. And in support of everything, the kids pick up and move to Colorado to support him in his career. Fine. We know Shelomi didn't get recruited by Colorado. That was never a thing. So was she considered a walk-on? Of course she was, because she went there because of her dad, in support thereof. And she was on the basketball team. Did she get probable time? No, they already had the recruits. They already had their lineup. They were already into their thing day one. So why should my baby girl sit in a place where she's really not wanted or celebrated? Okay, you're tolerated because we all know why you went. It's no secret. But why should she be called stupid for finally taking a stand, putting those big girl pants on, and starting to make a way for herself when no one was making a way for her on that court? You know, people talk about nepotism, they, do whatever, but you're the head coach of football at the University of Colorado in Boulder. You changed the entire city. You changed the whole scope of how people were attending sports. Okay, now the women's basketball, they had people going, whatever, but let's not be shy of the attention that Shelomi also brought to the team. Those houses were packed down. You attended some games. I was there. Okay, you weren't at every game seeing Shelomi sit and pay her dues and whatever. She paid her dues at Jackson, redshirting and everything. No one's saying she's a victim of anything. But the thing is that when a child, a young adult, decides to step out on their own, and even taking advice, not even in an arrogant way, not in a disrespectful way, but looking out for their own life, looking out for their own career, and doing what's best to be done. The girl wants to play ball. Let her play.
Listen. Pilar dropping bombs. Like, this has nothing to do with, like, y'all could be like, oh, Scotty doesn't like Deion or what. If Deion was in the right, I'll tell you Deion was in the right. Pilar is dropping nothing but nukes, because think about it like this. Deion is doing what's best for Deion. Deion is doing what's best for Shador. Deion is somewhat doing what's best for Shiloh, right? But Bossy is not in that equation. He don't coach basketball. He has no effect of how she gets into the game or if she can play or putting her on the court. He has no effect on that at all. So the fact of the matter is that your daughter is following you, even understanding that you don't directly affect her career in basketball, shows the love she has for you. And Deion is still doing what's best for Deion. You leave Jackson to go to Colorado, you get a pay raise. Your son gets a better opportunity. Your sons get put on bigger platforms. Bossy doesn't. Bossy is just like, she's like the third wheel or the fifth wheel, the fourth wheel, whatever you want to call it. She is just she's a part of the package deal. So you have to listen, man, whatever you want to say about Pilar, she's absolutely right on what she's speaking. My only critique in this whole thing is that Pilar is sitting right beside you. I mean, that Bossy, I don't think, listen, this is just me. I know she's a growing woman. And it was going to get out anyway. You were going to see this video anyway. I just think it's just very weird to have this type of grievance with your daughter sitting right beside you, right? Because you're putting her in the predicament of, like, if this was, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I got 2 girls. If one of my daughters were sitting by their mom, right, their biological mom, and she's talking like this about me, I'm gonna be like, yo, you were just sitting there. You ain't gonna stand up for your boy. You ain't gonna say, nah, mom, all right, chill. You know, like, you ain't gonna, like, goddamn, can you? Like, I have been taking care of you. You have been straight. Like, I ain't do everything perfect, but golly, can you help a brother out? But you're putting your daughter in a very tough situation. And that's the only part of this I just completely disagree with how she handled it, being the fact that her daughter's sitting right beside her. And just it just puts you in a weird position. You know what I'm saying? She on her phone just hearing her mom talk bad about her dad. You know what I'm saying? Even though she's making great points and is reasonable, all this. See, the thing is, and this is the part where Deion's the product of his own demise. You put everything out in public, so the best way for Pilar to get with you is where? You do it to your, Deion does it to himself. He does it to himself. You do everything in public. You put everything in public. So how else is Pilar gonna get with you unless it's in the public eye? She can't call you on the phone and tell you about yourself and it changed. She can't call you. She can't. Because if she could, neither one of y'all will be playing these messages in public. Let's continue.
Okay. Now, we're not crazy. Anyone who supports you and what you want to do, you tap dance across the stage. But how about supporting somebody else? We know you have your favorites. We all know that. We've all seen it throughout. Okay.
Listen. I don't have any siblings. Okay, let me be very clear about this. I don't have any siblings. My wife has enough for the both of us, right? She always tells me this. You always know who the favorite is. You always know who the favorite is. You always know, right? You always know. And the fact of the matter is this. When you're Shelomi, I'm sorry. When you're Bossy, right? I don't have no siblings, but everybody know. If you're Bossy and you're not the favorite, you know you don't play football. You know what the lane that you're in, you're like, Deion makes it very clear. He always says football is the family business. And you're playing basketball. You're a girl. You're kind of not in the know. You're being a father and having daughters. I'm gonna be very transparent with y'all. It's easy for me to go outside with my son and throw the football around, right? It's easy. It comes natural. I love football. He loves football. My wife tells me, babe, listen, you got to go out there and be intentional about playing soccer with your daughter. You have to be intentional about going out there and, running with her and, doing things that she likes to do, even though they don't come easy for you or that's not something you would do, right? I love sports. So anything sport related works for me, but it's just when my son's like, Dad, let's go for football. Hey, yeah, let's go. Right. I'm like, yeah. Right. Cause it's something me and my dad didn't do. You get what I'm saying? So I can only imagine how she feels that you've been dragged along from stop to stop, and you've always been in the background. And they all know Shador is your favorite. It'll be different if Bossy was the favorite and Shador and Shiloh would just, hey, I'm gonna just help y'all out, but this is my baby. This is my baby, right? This is my baby. But you're not even doing that. You're giving the baby treatment to Shador, and you're giving Bossy the middle kid treatment. I digress. And Travis and Shador going hand to hand for favorite. Add him to your biological son.
Now, we're not crazy. Anyone who supports you and what you want to do, you tap dance across the stage. But how about supporting somebody else? We know you have your favorites. We all know that. We've all seen it throughout life. So Shelomi has taken the lead of her own life. There have been so many teams that have reached out. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, who have contacted her and contacted the people who are helping her too. And she's navigating through this portal deal. She's navigating through transferring very seamlessly. And it's not stupid. What's stupid is the comment. What's ignorant is going out. Concerning Shelomi, she's doing beautifully. She's doing wonderful. She's moving. Coaches want her. Teams want her. And she's happy. And she's experiencing really being a wanted player, which she didn't get the chance to experience before. So I'm proud of you, and I'm happy for you, and I will always be here.
That face says it all. This face right here says it all. It says, thanks, Mom, but this was really awkward. I guess. Thank you, maybe, huh? Yeah, tough situation. N.O. Joe, coming to you. What's up, What's up, N.O. Joe?
Yeah, tough situation.
N.O. Joe.
Coming to you. What's up, N.O. Joe? N.O. Joe, coming to you.
All right. 3503 coming to you.
What's going on, Scotty? It's Eric from Jersey.
What's
How
up?
you?
What's up? Talk to me.
Tell him, man. I agree with you wholeheartedly, yo. Dion always says the quiet part out loud, and it gets him in so much trouble. Do you remember when he said that, when he was talking about, when he was on the Super Bowl pregame show with Rich Eisen, and he talked about his whole recruiting strategy, and he talked about how he wanted the offensive players to come from two-parent households, but the defensive players to come from single-parent households.
Yeah.
I feel like he constantly does this thing where it's like, yo, that's not the thing you say. And it's like, it's almost like that same thing, like, yo, that's the quiet part that you're not supposed to say out loud. And when he does it, it always gets him in hot water. So I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. And when I was watching this thing, I'm like, damn, this was like that thing that happened with Russell Simmons and his daughter and his ex-wife was airing out the dirty laundry and all that stuff.
That's a good
about
call.
Getting money. It's kind of like that same energy. Like, yo, just keep that at home. Like, the world doesn't need to hear that, but it is what it is, man.
No, you're absolutely right, and that's a great comparison with the Russell Simmons and Kimura and how their situation ended and how ugly and nasty it got. And listen, this is not even the big part of the iceberg. It's just the tip of the iceberg. If you go back and watch their history of their relationship, oh my God, you talking about toxicity? Jesus.
I don't even think they could be in the same room. They ever. Like, he's like, nah, I'm good. Like, she come in the room, he's like, I'm out.
Yeah.
It is bad. And I was like, dang, how crazy did it get? Y'all had, like, what, 4 kids? Like, sheesh, y'all really don't like each other. It's wild.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Hey, that baby mama and baby daddy situation don't change no matter how much money you get. It don't change, man. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but appreciate the call, bro. Then listen, man. Hey, sometimes it don't matter how much money you got. Sometimes you just a bad baby daddy. Sometimes you just a crazy baby mama. Money don't have nothing to do with that. 3286 coming to you.
Hey, yo, what up, Scotty, man? This is Kane from Zone 3 Atlanta, bro.
Talk to me, man.
Hey, check this out, man. If Biddle baby mama had a picture label stamp. That's exactly what this is, man. Hey, check this out, man. This, you know, P-Law beat his auntie up. Then she didn't get but $1 million when they got divorced. She told the judge how she's supposed to survive off $1 million. Then she became a fake off-brand Muslim with the Moors. They like the most fake Captain Crunch box in Kroger's. I mean, you'll find, bro. And I mean, now she's trying to basically, I guess, turn his daughter on him. You know, Dion saved, what's the boy name? Shiloh. He saved Shiloh. Shiloh should be a convicted felon right now for what he did to that teacher.
Yeah. That's a good
You know
point.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pilar didn't save him from that. Dion saved him from that.
Yeah.
So they call this man who got full custody. And think about this, man. In states like Texas and Georgia too, right? For a woman to lose custody and a man to get full custody in these southern states, bro, you got to be doing some awful stuff that we didn't even know about.
Okay, listen, I was rocking with you until that, because I thought the same premise, and my wife was like, but babe, this is Deion Sanders. Like, how many judges, lawyers, you know, how many people know, cherish, and worship? You see the way Bama's in Colorado worship Deion. This is like early 2000s Deion, right? So he fresh off the go. You know what I'm saying? He just leaving the Ravens, or he just leaving Washington. So there is an influence that Deion and that name brings. So of course, he can talk to TD Jakes. He can go have somebody speak on his behalf and all this. You know what I'm saying? So I won't say Pilar was the best. I'm not saying she's the worst, but I do think that Deion did have an influence, and he has money. So why would I not want to give the kids to the breadwinner? You know what I'm saying? But it is Deion Sanders, man. Like the person said, he has way more resources than her, and he was able to do it.
Yeah, man. I just hate that she in this position, and then I hate that, you know, some of our people don't understand it. Right, like you said, you was honest about this. I don't know if she was good enough to play at Jackson. That was because of Deion. And so she got in the portal, and she leave a top 25 program like Colorado, which she never was gonna play.
Never. And
she go to Alabama A&M, bro. Like, I mean, she might not play there. Who knows? I hope she does for her sake. But I hate that, you know, that it gets like this where we against each other or whatnot, man. And then you use the kids to try to influence that, man. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it'd be like that though. But hey, man, I appreciate the call, bro. Real talk.
Yeah, man. Hold it down, man.
Always.
Right,
appreciate you, bro. 0096 coming to you.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, this is Sean. Hey, listen, I'm sorry, I went away for a second, but I want to say something. When you had said, the thing that's kind of weird is her sitting beside her mom's and and let her mom tell the story. What I can tell you is that when you see your father a certain kind of way, and you're and he's that person in your eyes, there's some shit you can tell anybody else, but you cannot say to him. And so she know one person in this room can tell him that's what he needs to hear and the way he needs to hear. And there's one person in this room who's going to generally come to her defense, who's going to come and say, this is what I've been feeling. Because see, everything she ain't telling him, she telling her mama.
Yeah. You preaching. You preaching on that one. You preaching on that one.
She telling her mama. And so the thing is that her mama will come and her mother is not mad at him anymore. Because I'm watching this woman sit here talking to him like, we got kids, dude, and this is affecting her. And I appreciate that. So all that stuff, that's behind us. This is one of the bridges. She's talking about here, right now, today. This girl's still in this. And I could see Shaw ain't gonna think of nobody from what I've seen. The only person she's gonna punch is Shiloh. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, that's who she connects to. And so, but him, he's Deion. She ain't gonna tell her daddy that, but her mama's ready to let him know. So that's what I get from her.
No, listen, you're making that's a solid point, because it is that mom and it's that mom bond, but then it also becomes a little bit of trauma bonding, right? Because it's like
100%.
Yeah, it's a little trauma bonding because Pilar has had her experience with Deion as a husband, as a mate, as a parent, and then now you have Bossy having her issues with him as a parent, as a father, whatever. So now we come even closer because now we both dealing with the same narcissist or, his arrogance or whatever. And now we're becoming closer together because of that issue. So, yeah.
Come in and bring us closer. I don't know what I tell you is this. I think her mother's made for this moment. That's what I get. You know what I'm saying? Her mother is made for this moment because all the things I've heard of Pilar, she's shining right here. I'm like, baby, you're right, because I get that. And what she's doing, she's not, listen to how she says it. You don't hear in there, I'm angry with you, Dion, for the book cut that happened back in whatever year that was. I don't remember.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What I hear is, this baby girl right here needs you to support her. And maybe you missed the moment. And she didn't even condemn her for not doing it. She was saying, it's a better way. That's what I heard her say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a better way. So that's my piece right there.
Hey, man, appreciate the call. Great comment, bro. Appreciate the call. 6472, then 8572 coming to you. Hey, 6472, you live.
Yo.
What's up?
Man, listen, man. This is what I want to say about it. Shorty is doing what she feel like she got to do as a human, man. Everybody looking at this thing as this Dion. Oh my God, she got the best opportunity with her daddy because it's Dion. Of course, we all know Dion can pull some strings and this, that, and the third and make things happen. We know this. We all know that just because of his name. You know, he a part of that fraternity. You know, he wore that dress. So we know what time it is. So let's stop acting like we don't know what type of power and influence Dion got in that arena. But when it comes to bossy, like her mama said, she wanted to be wanted. Not everybody go through the experience of being recruited, of being wanted, a team that actually really wants you, that can really go ahead and see the potential and see where we could plug you in on our team and where we could win the chip. Like, everybody don't go through that. And as a young lady, girl, like, well, I don't know how she is, but I'm pretty sure she's really young. She want to go through that. And there's nothing wrong with going through that. And if as parents, especially the pops, if you can't see that, and I understand Dion, like he said in the interview, you know, I've been a provider, you know, so I've been dictating how everybody moves. But yeah, we understand that. But if you just basing that on because you've been the breadwinner, because you're making money, so you should do what I say, that sounds like you controlling, my guy.
Yeah, no, you're
like
right.
Nobody got to say so or nothing.
That's fair.
Like no one could be their own human being at the end of the day. You always gonna hang this, because I've been doing this, I've been holding this. You gotta listen to me. And again, we all know you could pull some strings and make things happen and woo, but nobody want it like that.
So let me ask you this:
if you're a real human being,
let me throw it to you like this. If you're Dion, right? Like, and I want to be first. I agree with you. I think once you've done the raising, you have to allow your children to go out on their own and find who they are individually, right? But then I toss it back to you. If you're Dion, where does my help in your womanhood, where does that, because don't come back to me expecting me to, you jumped in the portal and wanted to leave. So do you still, I mean, you grown now. You go.
But see, so from that perspective, you speaking from the perspective if things don't turn out the way that she would expect them to turn out. And again, how do they supposed to turn out? Because you were family, does it supposed to turn out WNBA?
No, what I'm saying. No. Listen to my question. My question is you get to A&M, they give you a scholarship, but you want to live off campus. You want to drive a certain car. Okay. You want to do that, and who you gonna ask for all that? It ain't gonna be from Pilar. You gonna come ask me. So at some point, to me, since you decided to do your own thing away from the family, do you now hold the responsibility of doing your own thing? You get what I'm saying? Like.
So you asking me, so what you saying is, okay, so since you're not under my wing no more, baby girl, you know you got to go out here and go ahead and do your own thing. You want to go do it fully, so you got to go do it. You can't run the daddy no more. That's to me, that's sucker shit. Because again, at the end of the day, you still, let me tell you why. Because at the end of the day, you are still her father. You know, you still hold a title of being a father. Of course, she's going to go through life and experience that which individuals call ups and downs. Of course, you that's something you can't stop as a man, period. That's just God's law, God's plan, what's in store for her. But if you withhold that which she desires, and again, let's say she don't want something big, like a 2024 being, now you're talking crazy. But if you want something regular to get you to A and B, and you know it's just a little one apartment that's cool, then yeah. But if you try to stretch it all the way out because you know I could get it, then we got a problem. But I'm gonna get you the simple things that you need because I'm your father. That's what a father does.
Simple.
And of course, I'm the breadwinner.
Simple
as
that. Okay, this is. Listen. I love this conversation because I think simple is like, hey, Dad, can you put $100, $200 on my card so I can get some food? But at the end of the day,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that, right? But I think at a certain point, you have to be grown. Like if you're telling this because
when does that start? When does that start? There's no age limit to when does that start. That doesn't start at 21. That doesn't start at 22. That doesn't start. When does that start? When does that?
If we're being honest,
in for an individual to start living
hold on. If we're being honest, in the Black household, it starts at 18, and we've all not everybody is going through that. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. In the Black household, 18. you better,
your own boy.
You better get a job. You better go to school. You know, do what you think. But it's Dion's daughter, so it's a little different, right? My thing is this. This is my premise. If I was Dion, all the luxury items that you would usually get by kicking it with me, you're not getting those because you're not. You decided.
So I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
You decided to do your own thing, so you're going to. Me. If it's not on campus, I'm not doing it. Like it's certain things I'm just not.
I agree.
So those are the things I'm saying. Like all the luxury items of you having your own house in Huntsville, because in Colorado and Jackson,
that ain't going down.
You see what I'm saying?
That ain't going down.
You see what I'm. That's the
that
part.
Ain't going down.
That's the part. What I'm saying is like, no, I'm not doing those anymore because you wanted to. Because with big girl decisions and big girl pants comes big girl consequences and choices, and you have to start learning that on your own. That's just that's where I would disagree. That's where I push back.
And I agree with you with that. And also, as a father, don't just cut it all off. Don't just give her the mindset, well, you got to go out there and get it on your own now. You ain't under my wing no more. Don't just hit her with that, because that's like, goddamn, you my parent.
Yeah. You
give her, like you just said, that talk. Like, hey, baby, all them, $3,500 rent, $32 a month car note. Nah, that ain't for to go down. We for to get you some probably $1,000, and then we're gonna probably get you a room that's probably like around 17. We're gonna get you around the culture because this is where you want to be, right? So we gonna make sure you blend in with the folks. We're gonna make sure you real taken care of now. We gonna make it. Come on, we all know you're a Sanders, so you good.
Yeah.
But we gonna make sure you that's what we gonna do. Okay. And I agree with that. Ain't nothing wring with that.
Okay.
That's still being a father.
I like that, man.
You just don't eliminate it all.
Yeah, he has the right to if he chose to do so. And then people can agree or disagree on that.
But then that'll be a sucker move because what? Because now she ain't under your control no more. Well, because she ain't doing what you say now.
But at some point in time, you're grown. Like if I'm considering myself grown and I'm saying I'm grown to make my own decisions, then it doesn't mean I can't come to the rescue. I'm just not your lifeline right now. You gotta learn.
I feel like this word grown, I feel like we use that very loosely. That's what I feel. That's where this idea is coming from. I feel like we use the word grown loosely, and then when it comes to the ideal of when you drop on your head, I told you so. That's what majority of what we be looking for, but we can't live like that. Though it happens, there's realities that support these ideas, but at the end of the day, if you choose to live like that, of course they're gonna be people like me. They're gonna have something to say about it, because at the end of the day, you're still, if you want to use this title, a father, and you still got to do certain things because that's your baby girl. You know what I mean? There ain't no bro. If there was a boy, if that was a man, that was shallow. Then you nigga get it. But this is your baby girl. You got to treat this a little different than, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's how I feel about it.
Okay. Listen, I love the conversation, man. That's great. I appreciate the call, man. Great insight. Thank you so much.
Hey, I also want to say, bro, I love you, dog. I had quite a love back then when you were doing the commodity thing. I can't wait till you get back on the commodity thing because I got so much to say about that as well.
All right.
But
awesome.
I rock with you, dog. You're doing a amazing job, and I'm tuned in. I'm locked in for sure.
Hey, appreciate you, bro.
Plant City, Florida. Yeah?
Hey, man, appreciate you. Real talk. Hey, listen, man, I love this. That's just a great conversation, right? Because as a father, there's fathers on here, there's mothers on here, there's, aunts and uncles and all the type of, we've all had our relationship with different, kids or whatever. My thing is this: pursuing your dreams is your right? And that was your choice. And it's okay for Deion to be your safety net, but to a certain extent, you got to learn. Like, you got to learn what it's like to go chase your dreams, right? Because not everybody has a safety net like Deion Sanders in the back pocket, right? But I do say this. I'll say this before I take the next caller. Shaq said he would take care of his daughters until 24, 25. But if it's a boy, they gotta get out and do their own thing, right? But I still think there is some type of, I don't know. I'm torn with that one. I'm torn with that one. I don't think there's anything wrong with chasing your dreams. I just think it's a little torn. I'm going 85-72, then 81-47, then FAM UKJ. 85-72 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live.
Hey, what up, Scotty? What up?
What's up,
man? It's all good. Hey, Scotty, I want to give you a shout out for what you did for my man whose house burned down. I made sure I donated to my man.
Oh, man.
That was a big show, man.
Man, I appreciate that.
Much respect for that on that one.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Man, Zoe, my guy, man. I had to come through for him.
Yeah, but that showed me a lot about you and your character, man. So I'm going to rock with you, Scotty.
Man,
listen, man, think about her name. They call her Bossy. I'm not trying to knock her because everybody want to live a dream. But in that name that he gave her, it told a lot about who she is. But I'm like the last caller. Yeah, she decided to do on her own, but just don't cut her, man, because, I mean, she's still a woman. And at the end of the day, you don't want a woman to get taken advantage of. I just think, man, Deion's way or the highway sometimes, man. And that ain't always, to me, think about it, his son didn't even come with him when he first went to Colorado. I think that was Shiloh didn't even go, man. He stayed at Jackson State. So I just think, man, a guy like Deion, you gotta let your kids grow their wings too, man. You can't be so protective and all that, because in this world, you already know, man, Scotty, this world can be it could be a cruel place. And I think if she want to go out there and do it on her own, by all means, let her do it, but don't cut her wings, man, because she's gonna need some help. I don't think Polari should have did it that way, but like you said, the only way he can communicate is going on social media then. But I also agree with you when you said mom always said keep the stuff in the house in the house. We don't broadcast the stuff. I don't get that about Deion. Putting all your business on Front Street. Even if I'm falling down or my head gets knocked in, I don't need to let everybody know what's going on. So that's the one thing I don't. That guy, I'm sorry, bro. My house could be on fire. I could be out on the street, but I'm out airing my business out. That guy he just don't care, man. But I do think, man, he a little bit control of his kids, man. But I also think you ought to give your daughter a chance, man. Because think about this. She went to Colorado, she went to Jackson State, and you already know if you ain't on the pecking order, man, you ain't nothing but a practice player or a bench warmer, man. I mean, the girl probably wanted to really experience something. So, I mean, at this point, she got to do it. But I'm not saying she's going to get everything, but I wouldn't cut her off, man. I'm going to leave it at that. You be cool.
Hey, man, appreciate the call, bro. Appreciate the support as well. Let me throw a little wrench in there. I feel like this is a radio. I feel like a little radio host right now. A little Hot 97.9. You know what I'm saying?
Key to life. Money, power, respect. Needing life.
Little Hot 97. Let me throw a wrench in y'all real quick. Listen, this is not like every time it works. But if you think about a lot of the fathers and parents that have kind of like overwatched their kids, Serena Williams and her father is Venus and Serena Williams, the Jacksons, Beyonce's dad, Tiger Woods' dad. A lot of those parents were hovering, I want you to do this. They put them in there. They pushed them to do something, and they've gotten success from it. And let's not act like Shador following his dad has not been successful, right? So what I'm saying is that, yes, she should be able to follow her own dreams. But the Ball family, thank you. There's a lot of families that can speak to having a very active father, a proactive father, and it been beneficial for them, right? I'm not saying that's everybody, but there are some examples. My thing is, if she decides to do her own thing, how far of a rope, how much of a safety net do I give her? Because you have, listen, okay, I'm sorry, okay. If Key Babe, if you're watching this and I'm off base, please let me know I'm off base. One thing, and I hate to go spiritual with y'all, but I gotta go a little spiritual. The one thing when you understand about walking with God is you want to be as close to God as possible. But when you get away from the umbrella of God and the grace of God, you will get rained on. I'm not saying Dion is God. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is as a father, he has his own umbrella. And he's walking with his boys and his girls that have been protective. She decides to go on her own accord with her own umbrella. If the umbrella is not suited for the weather that she's going to, you gotta learn. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe it's just maybe it's just me. 8147 coming to you, then FAMU KJ, then 1471. Hey, caller, you live.
Hey, Scott, this Ash, man. I've been listening to you for a minute, a couple of years now. The caller before last, man, he hit the nail on the head. I think I was in a situation like that. I had a girl, my daughter, my youngest daughter went to college, played ball. My second oldest son went to college, played ball. Well, my son graduated. Well, he graduated and he wanted to play another year, but he wanted to transfer.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't ask me, he just left. So what I did, I was like, okay, you don't want to talk to me? You want to jump in the portal? All right, fend for yourself. My daughter, the next year, did the same thing. I did the same thing. So, it's like what the caller said earlier. Yeah, you want them to learn, but you don't want them to drown. You know what I'm saying? So it was hard for me to say, okay, to my son, like, you gotta learn on your own. But then when my daughter did it, I could have easily been like, okay, let's, do what you want to do. I'm gonna help. But I had to stand on what I did to my son, so I don't hear that, oh, he did it. And, you know what I'm saying? You let him, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like she did that, like she's leaving because she wants to play ball. But on Dion, I don't think he should just like, oh, you on your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's your daughter, man. So, you do for one, you do for the other. That's how I was raised. That's how, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that he's out of bounds right now.
Okay. I like that, man. I appreciate the call, though.
You got it, brother. Keep doing your thing.
Hey, appreciate you. Let me be very clear, right? Because what you're not going to do is you're not going to get me biblically, okay? Okay. Let me be very clear, because y'all Bamas are super confused. You're absolutely right. God gives you free will. And I'm not saying that Dion shouldn't give his daughter a free will. God gives you a free will to do what you decide to do, but you can't get mad at God for anything that comes about stepping outside of his grace. See, now you got me preaching, right? Now you got me preaching. If Bossy decides to step outside of her father's grace and go on her own accord, listen, if that's what makes her, it's the same thing biblically, right? If you stepping outside of God's grace makes you happy, God is going to allow you to do that. If Dion, if he allows Bossy to step outside of his grace and she decides to do her own thing and that makes her happy as a father, I should be happy. But do not look back at me to come save you every time. You have to learn on your own with your decisions. It's no different than the prodigal son. He gave him the inheritance. The prodigal son left, did whatever he wanted to do, and the father let him come back after he learned his lesson. right? So if Bossy decides to step out of her father's grace, or she doesn't like her father's vision for her life, and she wants to go live her life according to what she sees fit, that is her choice. That's her right. But it is also Dion's right to depend on whether or not he will support that life that she decides to live. Because it's really funny to me, the people in here saying, hey, you got to be there. Hey, you got to do this. If she was an alcoholic, you wouldn't be there. You wouldn't be supporting the habit. If she was addicted to drugs, you wouldn't be supporting that habit. If she was out here living with who knows what or God knows what or a guy he didn't like, you wouldn't be supporting that. Right? So his money does not come with a blindfold and say, hey, I give it because you're my daughter. It's not how that works. All I'm saying is this. I don't have a problem with her chasing her dreams. I hope it's the best for her. But in the process of chasing your dreams, you have to understand what it feels like to fail. That's the part. We've all had failure that has made us who we are. It's either gave you resiliency, it's either made you tougher, made you pivot, right, in life. If you keep being somebody's safety net every single time, they never understand what resiliency and failure brings. Because some people live in failure and some people thrive in the failure. Like, oh, no, this ain't me. I got to get back. This ain't who I am. Right? So to me, it goes, you got to let people bump their head in listen, it's no different than when you tell your kid, hey, the stove is hot. Hey, the stove is hot. And then they touch the stove and they learn that it's hot. Anyway, sorry, just had to do that. Fam UKJ coming to you. Hey, call you
Right.
off.
What's up, Scotty?
What's up, man? Talk to me, Fam UKJ.
Okay. All right, check this out, man. I can just say this much. From my days in college, I can tell you, man, the number of young ladies that you ran across, two-parent families. You know, you can run across the ones that were one parent, but the two-parent families that got daddy issues, man, it was always issues in which psychologically, a lot of those girls would oftentimes do things that had nothing to do with you, but because they were rebelling because of the control that maybe daddy had. So you had girls who would become drinking, sleeping around, doing all these things because of the rebellion, a lot of times of being controlled by what daddy said to do and do it this way. You got to do it that way, and not being able to make their own decisions. And when you're saying about the issue of, what dad says, or you going out and making your own choices, on the other hand, speaking spiritually, sometimes God could also be trying to let Dion say, so your controlling does not control me. And I can put things in your life. You have money.
Point.
Yes, you have things.
That's a point.
I can put things in your life to let you see that you don't control everything.
That's a good point. That's a great point.
Yeah, and sometimes a controlling spirit can be something that can cause you to try to dictate everything. And he even said it in his, and I understand it's your faith, but sometimes God can let you see. Now, I'm gonna work through your daughter to let you see that you don't control things, and if you don't humble yourself unto me, and I'll make things straight for her. And sometimes, and that's what they talk about, a wealthy man sometimes has a hard time dealing with that because he can control so many things here on earth. And things don't get caught. And so God can sometimes make things so bad that make you realize, okay, now let me retract, baby. Let's sit down and let's pray on this thing. Not from what I said. Let's see what God has to say about it, and then we can move that way.
And
so that,
to me, I think this is the thing, right? I think two things can be true. Right, is that I've always believed Dion's arrogance and his pride is going to be his downfall in anything that he does, because we all know pride comes before destruction, right? But my thing is this: when you talk about the controlling aspect of it, I think that's just a lot of kids in general. Because I'll give myself an example. My mom was uber controlling, right? Like I'm talking about like I had a military mom, so you can just imagine how much everything was just dress. And sometimes you just want the freedom of being able to make your own choice without somebody telling you. So now, like for me, my mom used to make me iron my clothes to go outside. Now I don't iron my clothes at all. Like, cause I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. Right. So it's one of the, but the thing, hold on, let me make my point. The thing is you can go too far right, like me, to where I don't want to iron my clothes and I got a job interview because I keep thinking about the trauma that I went through with my mom, right? So it's like you got to find a balance of good and bad of what your parent has been giving you. That's one thing. So when you talk about, drinking or whatever, it's because sometimes you go so right that you don't find a good middle ground of like a balance to where your parent was right, but I'm not going to do it it's not going to go that extreme, right? So I just think there's a bit of both. But what I will 100% agree with you is the part that Deion did out loud, he should have did behind closed doors and just say, hey, let's pray about this. Let's see where God says you should be and go. Because he says he's a godly man. So,
exactly.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. So what you just said makes so when Cormani left, what did you say? Oh, I pray to God that he finds a spot that develops him and does this and does that. But when it comes to your daughter, you don't give her the same well wishes? That would mess me up. I ain't gonna even hold you. I would be pissed that a person you don't even know, that you've met for more than a year, when he goes into the portal, it's all, I pray to God. I hope God blesses him and finds the right this and finds the right that. But then when your own daughter goes in the portal, you don't give her the same well wishes. Yeah, he couldn't talk to me for a while. I ain't gonna hold you.
All right, bro. I appreciate your comments, man.
No, I appreciate you, KJ. Appreciate that call, man. That was a blessing. Thank you so much. Peace.
All right.
I ain't even listen. That was a straight revelation from God. I need all y'all to think on that, right? When Cormani left when the kids left, Cormani, all those kids, they jumped in the portal. Deion was so quick to say, bless them, amen, hope, I'm praying that they find that, and you couldn't give your daughter the same send-off? You couldn't give your daughter the same send-off to where you're saying, you know what? I know what I put in my daughter. God has blessed my daughter with amazing talents and gifts. Whoever gets my daughter will be a blessing to that program. You didn't say that. You said it was stupid. Wow. Ooh, okay. 1410 and 1471. Hey, call you live.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty?
What's good? Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm thinking we are a little bit misreading what Deion said.
Okay, talk to me.
Because I'm thinking he's saying the decision to jump in the portal without having a home was his only issue with his baby girl. Now, I don't know if he's had a conversation with her prior and maybe he had expressed that make sure you find a home before you get in there with 5,000 other athletes, 4,000 of them probably better than you, and get lost in the portal. And then what you gonna do? As opposed to him trying to be controlling or mad that she left. Okay. That's what I think. And I think he knows his daughter better than anybody. I don't think he thinks she's that good. And he probably has some concern about it and making a stupid comment. I think that was more a shot at Pilar than his daughter. Because he said she is truly been advised without calling Pilar's name, insinuating that her mama is pulling her strings.
Okay.
And as far as Kamani, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, finish. I'm so sorry. Finish your point. Go finish your point.
Oh, okay. And as far as Kamani, I think he just wish his daughter had a little bit better judgment than that. And he don't think too highly of Kamani. You know how some people, I route my son hard because I expect better from him. He knows better. I've taught him better. Whether he displays it or not, that's up to him. But I've taught him that. As far as another one that, okay, I get why he do that. God bless him. But mine, I'm going to chastise. But you know better.
Okay, let me help you out. I see your point, but I gotta push back on you a tad bit. Let me be very clear. I'm gonna use me as an example, right? If okay, you know what? I'll give you a life event that happened to me. I went down to kick it with my father for the summer, right? And in Maryland, my dad lived in Savannah. I lived in Maryland. In Maryland, we had a thing called summer reading. We had to do book report. Every time you went to a new grade, you had to have a book report on the first day of school to turn in. I hadn't completed it. I was 2 weeks. I was 2 weeks for going back to school. So my mom told my dad, "Hey, send him back." Right? Send him back to me so we can get the book report knocked out, blah, blah, blah. My dad told my mom, no. She said, "Abe, send my son back so we can get the book report done before he gets to school." My mom said no. My dad said no. My mom, the next day, my mom called me and said, "Pack your bags. I'm coming to get you." She drives down to Georgia. She picks me up from the house, takes me back to Maryland, right? If my dad would have got on a public platform, Facebook, Instagram, and said it was stupid for me to go back to my mom, right? The thing about it is, even though you're talking to my mom, you're still talking to me because I'm listening to her advice. So even if the stupid comment was directed to Pilar, you're still calling her stupid because she listened to her mother. If that was her mother's advice. So they're both one and the same. So you can't separate the two. You just can't.
Yeah. Now that part I don't agree with. And that's the first thing I said when I heard it. I know he's talking about Pilar, but he can't do that to her because I know for one, she wasn't gonna take it well. I know her history. He should know her history. And she's gonna embarrass him. He can't win that. And they shouldn't have took it public, and she sure shouldn't have done it in front of the daughter, because now you're gonna put the kid in front of it and put the kid right in the middle of it. Not only that, but you put these boys in the middle of it too, unintentionally. Yeah, and I do think he doesn't have a problem with Shelomi. That's how you pronounce her name, Shelomi. He doesn't have a problem with Shelomi going off to another school. But one quick thing, I know it's not serious. Cornell Maynard might put some dogs on him, but I'm done.
Okay, man. Appreciate the call. Thank you so much. 1471. I'm gonna lock the conference.
The conference has been locked.
1471. Then Mr. Campbell, you'll be my last caller. 1471 coming to you.
Hey, Scotty, this is Miss Fly Gray Street. What's up?
What's up, Miss Fly Gray Street? Talk to me.
Okay, so I'm going to give y'all a woman's perspective since I am a daughter.
Talk to me.
And our relationships with our dads can be a little tricky or whatever. But let's take basketball out of this, because I see a lot of people in the comments, "Oh, she's not this, she's not that." Yeah, whatever. Regardless of the basketball, this is a father and a daughter. So she didn't get to, at the end of high school, he kind of said, "Yeah, you coming to Jackson State." So she didn't get to go off then, try to, find her way in the world, say, "Hey, I might want to go to this college, I might want to go here." She didn't get to do that. So for 2 years, she went along with the game plan and she followed her father. Now, regardless of what the situation is, she's decided to make another decision. That's her decision. Maybe she wants to see if she can make it without being in the shadow of a Sanders. Now, that's going to be hard because your last name is Sanders. But maybe she wants to see if, hey, let me see what I can do without the assistance of my father. Did anybody ever think about that? And then as far as, y'all saying, kids get this, this age and they cut them off. I'm 51 years old. My dad's 85. I am not a daddy girl. Well, I am, but I'm not. But I can go to my dad right now. And if I need something, if I ask for something, he'll give it to me because he knows I need it. Because I'm not going to him unless I absolutely have to. But my dad is always, he's there. I guess you could say as a crutch or a balance, but he is there. And sometimes as parents, sometimes you cut them off and be like, well, you make this decision, you grown, you on your own. But also remember too, y'all get old and you're going to need somebody to wipe your ass when you can't. So listen, remember that.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm just thinking maybe she wants to see what the world is like on her own from up under her father's shadow. Because that's a hell of a shadow to be under.
That's fair. That's fair. Miss Fly Grace Street. Listen, I know the topic good if you calling in. Ooh.
No, I just see a lot of men calling, and it's hard for men you see your daughters as one way, but as a daughter, we see our fathers in a different light, especially if we have fathers who have been in our lives a good positive influence in our lives.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I love it.
Yeah, so
thank you so much, Miss Fly Grace Street.
That's it. Come on, Bishop.
Appreciate the call, Miss Fly Grace Street. Oh, man.
The conference has been unlocked.
Mr. Campbell coming to you. KP, go ahead and call in. Hey, what's up, Mr. Campbell?
Hey, man, I wasn't gonna call in, but I'm gonna call in because I have adult kids, and I'm sure there are people in the chat that have kids and like you. But this is about experience. And let me say something: the best parent does not control their children. The best parent guides their children. There's a difference. So when you try to control somebody, how does that usually work out? It usually fails. When you try to guide somebody and support them, it usually succeeds. So the fact that this child, who probably did not want to go to Colorado, because listen, I'm from Jackson State people, I heard that child liked being in Jackson State. Forget the basketball for a second. I'm just talking about being at school, because let's be clear. She is going to college to be something, not to be a WNBA player, not to be a GM. She's going to college so she can further her life. So you know what? What if she said, Daddy, I'm not happy here? There's nothing wrong with that. I see people all the time make their children major in stuff that their children don't want to major in, and then they flunk out of school. Instead of that, you know what I go? They say, Uncle Steve, I don't want to major in engineering. I want to major in political science. Well, major in something that's going to make you happy. Be where you're going to be happy. And I believe, honestly, that child was not happy at Colorado. That child saw the HBCU experience. And listen, this is a real thing. People that did not go to HBCU, I'm going to tell you something. That family thing is a real thing. I got professors that have not seen me 30 years. I am 53 years old. And Dr. Harper, who actually was taught by my grandfather, saw me and said, Steve, how you doing? Dr. Harper is almost 90.
Wow.
And still like my aunt. See, so this is a real thing. So the problem is, first of all, Dion and Pilar, stop living your life in front of the camera. That was a personal thing that they should have dealt with their daughter. She said, Daddy, I want to transfer. What is your plan? I don't like your plan. And then maybe if he would have had that conversation, then he doesn't say, because when he said this is stupid, this is what people do. I understand he said the decision, but it still falls back on her, which pointed she was stupid for making the decision. No, she wasn't. If you're not happy, don't be somewhere where you're not happy. And then, of course, what her mother is going to do is what mothers always do. Mothers are going to protect their children, good, bad, or indifferent. So that's what the mama does. But still, you know what she does? She puts out a big 45-minute video. Again, I know I'm exaggerating, and then we all got to comment on it. But this should have been, my child is not happy. Where my child going to be happy at? She's going to be happy at Alabama A&M. So we need to stop talking about this. I'm going to make one other point, too. When you are a parent, you don't stop supporting your child. You know, I hear the people say, oh, 18. Let me tell y'all something. Good parents support their children all the way till they get to the grave, one way or the other. Because when your child needs something, I don't care if they're 15, 25, 35, 45. If they're in the right place and doing the right thing, you're going to support. Just like, Scotty, what you're going to do with your children. If your child comes with a good idea and you're super successful like I know you are, and your son said, Daddy, I need $20,000. I think you know what you're going to do? You're going to be like, oh, forget you, go find out yourself. Because white people support their kids every day and support their dreams. So we got to stop this trauma that we put on our kids and throw them out to the wayside. Now, I'm not saying don't raise your children to be independent. I'm independent. My mother raised me to be independent, but my mother's always been in my corner. So for my thing is maybe the child wanted to transfer just so she can be happy. And I don't think Deion should say, oh, I'm going to cut you off. No, Deion should cut that child. Because first of all, she's a girl. And father should protect that. Because I'm going to tell you one thing, and I think somebody said it in the comment. If he don't protect her, another man will. I'm going to leave y'all for that. That's free.
Appreciate the call, Mr. Campbell. All right. Listen, this is the stuff with black people, man. Don't try to get into the club when it's about to close. I've been on this show for 2.5 hours, and now ninjas want to call in all left and right. I'm taking one more caller. I'm taking KP, $59.99. No, the bar is closing. Last call for alcohol. I'm only taking one more call. Y'all better be killing me. Ninjas always want to try to come in at the last second. Knowing I've been on for 2.5 hours. 7301. Coming to you, KP.
Why? What's up, baby?
What's up?
Going on, bro?
Man, got these ninjas.
Hey, bro, thank you for.
I open it up for you, KB, and ninjas trying to jump in here and get some slide in.
Hey, bro, niggas try to get in the coming behind the line. Thank you for letting me in the back door. Now everybody want to come behind me and stuff, man. Go on, close. Go on, get on. But look, man, then you got me following behind Mr. Campbell. I'm going behind James Brown, man. That's gonna be a tough sell, hard to do. But look, man, real quick, man, it seemed to me like the Deion and his wife, they trying to outparent one another, man. That ain't it, man. It is not it. Like, we trying to see who the best parent out of the two. Man, these are kids, man. If Deion didn't like her decision, man, it's easy to be like, baby girl, I know you want to go to Atlanta, Alabama. These are my concerns. This is why I don't prefer you going down there, but this is your life. I'm going to do whatever you need to do to support you. Now, to jump on your side, Scotty, and she going to go get this Escalade, she wants this 2024. Nah, we're not doing it. If you want it, get your job, get it on your own. I'm going to give you the bare minimum. I'm going to give you what you need, not what you want. So that's how I'll play that situation out. I'll talk to the ex-wife, baby. What is she telling you? How does baby girl feel? What's her concern? She don't like Colorado. Okay, let's do what we need to do together to make her happy with her life. Sometimes parents, it's a cutoff. It ain't a cutoff age. It's just a cutoff age of controlling the direction.
That's good.
Now we got to provide for guidance.
That's good. That's good.
Let them go out there and bump their heads. Let them feel the grass, touch the grass. They're going to make mistakes. And that's when we come in as parents or whatever the case be grandparents. All right, you went that way, you went left. This is why I advise you not to go that way, but it's okay. Now you got to dig out this hole that you dug in, and I'm going to help you. I ain't going to get it out. I ain't going to pull you out all by yourself. You're going to have to figure it out on your own. But I ain't going to leave you out there high and dry. So that's why I like the other caller who called in and said, man, don't cut off. That's some sucker shit. It is some sucker shit, but I ain't saying you got to continue babying her. Giving her 100% of what she wants. Nah, man, she got to get it on her own. Get the job. Get two of them if you have to. Shit, I had to get it out of the mud. You got to get it out of the mud too. That's how life works. So I just think, man, just wrapping it up, man, I just think it's getting a little too messy. And us black folks, we got to stop that, man. We got to stop jumping in front of the camera. Social media was the worst thing that ever came to black people home.
Listen, I won't even say black. I just say people in general. I can't stand. I definitely won't say black people in general. I can't stand when me and Key go out to eat, right? Because we make sure we put our phones on the floor, like we either put it face down on the table or in our seat. I cannot stand seeing two people on a date and they both in their phones and I can't stand that. Oh, I cannot stand that. To me, that is where social media, like, if you ever go on a family outing or whatever, just put your phone down and look down the table and how everybody's in their phone. Nobody's conversing with anybody. It's annoying. I swear to God, it's the worst thing ever. These cell phones, but go ahead.
Man, that's been bad, man. People be having a fingernail chip. Man, I got my toes painted. They got to post it on social media. Man, we don't need to know about all that, man. Go live your life. Go enjoy. Go pay some bills.
Yeah.
So my thing is, man, just stay off social media. Like you say, keep that in-house. I don't want to know. I don't care. Just make sure everything is good on your end, man. And I want to ask this to you. All this with this baby girl. Why wasn't this with the boys?
You know, why the pushback with the baby girl and not with Shador? Why the mom didn't interject the boy going to Colorado? You know, like, is it something that Dion is really controlling the narrative of his kids, and the mom just like got fed up with the, you know, with the baby girl? Because she could have jumped in the front of the narrative and said, "Nah, Shador not going to Colorado. He gonna stay at Jackson."
I doubt
know,
that.
is that more?
I doubt that. I doubt that was gonna like. I think Pilar has a voice. She has a voice, of course. That's her. That's their mom. But he has a direct impact on their success. He doesn't have that with like if. Let me just say this: if he had a direct impact on Bossy playing, she probably would not have gone anywhere. You get what I'm saying? Like if he could make, if she got on the team and she was playing and she was doing her thing, you know, coming off the bench, 6-man, you know, rotational player, I don't think she leaves. But this is 2 locations where she sat on the bench for basketball. It gets hard when you I mean, you're going to the wayside while your brothers are pretty much celebrities. You get what I'm saying? It's hard, man. That's just a hard thing to take in when you're seeing your brother's success and you've been following them, you know, wantedly or unwantedly, if that's even a word. You know what I'm saying? And now you get to do your own thing and make your own path. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay, last point, and I'm gonna get out the club. Look, is he doing more for her than he's doing for his sons? Because I'm just throwing it out. I'm just pushing back, just, you know, stirring up the mess. Is he putting her in front of the camera more? Is he giving her the NIL deals, even though she averaging 2 points, whatever the case may be? You Dion, you know, you got connections. You got people in places where you can even throw a bag at her. You know, you're throwing Bucky a bag and he ain't in the spotlight. We don't know. Everybody don't know who Bucky is or whatever the case may be. Do you feel he's doing the most that he could do for his daughter? And I'm going to land right there, man. You got this show on lock, bro. This is a great show. Appreciate it. Everybody in the chat, keep doing what y'all doing.
hey, appreciate you. I would say no. I don't think he's doing more for his daughter than he's doing for his sons. I think, listen, man, I've been saying this from the beginning. This whole plan is simply to get a Sanders name in the NFL. That's what this has always been about. That's what it's always going to be about. He wants the legacy, right? He wants the legacy of a Manning, of a Jeremiah Trotter. His son just went. Marvin Harrison Jr., his son just went. Who else? The Longs, you know what I'm saying? Like he wants that success and transition, right? When you call football the family business, and you know how embarrassing it is to be a Jordan and you didn't make the NBA? Somebody got hyphen my name after that. I'm a Jordan and I didn't make the NBA? Come on, man. All right. I'm taking this last caller because you waited patiently. 5999, you live.
First of all, thank you for taking my call. I was on a conference call rushing these people off trying to get on here. So I finally got them off and was able to pull back. So I was that nigga sitting back waiting late. So again, I apologize for that. The first thing is, living your life on social media, it's not a shock to me that this is the route that they took because that's all they seem to know is social media. So while I don't agree with how Dion has carried, what he has stated regarding, her being stupid, that doesn't jive well to me because, again, that is still her father. Now, as far as, her going to Alabama, I do think it could be something that she may just want to play and prove to herself she can make some stats or get some decent stats more than what she has now on a team. Maybe that's why she wants to go. I'm quite sure, at least I would hope she doesn't have any WNBA dreams.
Yeah.
But who knows? Who's to say? As far as, what he would do for her, I would still do for her within reason. But again, having that HBCU experience under his belt in Jackson with security and having to need it sometime, I'm not going to set her up to get robbed by giving her Escalades and all kind of stuff. And I'm not going to do that because I'm not down there. And who knows? I mean, Pilar, I'm sure, is going to follow her. But, I mean, what's she going to do? Swing her hair? What's she going to do? It's something if the girl got in trouble. So that I don't that I can understand giving some, but not all, because that's still her dad and that's still his daughter. But maybe later on in life, she may, if she does fall, if she becomes successful, if she becomes successful at AAMU, or even if it is not the right step, she will have a new respect for the grind that rich kids won't get because of money. She'll get that there before she would get that in Colorado.
That's a good point. That's a
later
great
on in
point.
life, she can respect her father. They can have a better relationship, and they both may grow from this. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. I wish the little young lady well. I think the HBCU route is probably the closest she's going to get, and I don't blame her for trying. That's all I got.
I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm shutting these call lines down. I'm gonna make my last point. I'm not answering. If you calling into my show anonymously, I'm not about to answer. All right, you better get your number out there. All right, let me say this. We might not agree with this. Once again, Prom did not say she was dumb. The decision was dumb, and that's true. Listen, I'm sorry. If I say that was a dumb decision, that means you dumb. You made the decision that was dumb. How are you not dumb? If the action was dumb, who did the action? I'm sorry. What? If somebody told you, if you stole something, right? If you stole a candy bar, right? And somebody said, that was stupid. Why did you do that? You committed the action. You're stupid. If somebody said, you're dumb for sending that email, you committed the action. So essentially, you are dumb for doing said action. It is an adjective to the action. It is describing what was done. You were doing it. I'm like, dog, we like, come on, bro. Like, are we doing this? Is what we doing? Like, this is so crazy to me. Like, if somebody calls you dumb, or that what you just said was dumb, or you drive, like you're a dumb driver or a stupid driver, like you're a part of the action that is proceeding. Like, what are we doing? Like, yeah, come on, man. Like, y'all gotta be, y'all some sensitive ass people, bro. That is just all I'm saying. Like, if I'm talking to my son and I tell my son, that was stupid what you did. Why would you do that? I'm calling your action stupid. That you did the action, I'm calling you stupid. But people are so sensitive. Oh my God, you calling, like, bro, like the action you did was stupid. You're smarter than that. That's why people say you're smarter than that. Because they just implied that you're stupid by the action that you did. Like, what? Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all some sensitive ass people, bro. And first of all, don't listen to nothing Jersey Sicey said. That ninja's from Jersey. It's literally the armpit of America. Rarely anything comes good out of Jersey. Okay, I'm from the East Coast. I'll tell you that. Okay, see what I'm saying? Like, he's from Jersey. He's from Jersey. Like, come on, bro. Like, y'all got to be kidding me. Like, y'all ninjas are so sensitive, bro. Like, if somebody can tell you that you did something stupid, and that doesn't mean you stupid, what are we talking about? So somebody has to tell you you're dumb to tell you that the action that you did was dumb. I'm confused. Maybe it's the military mind that I have. Like, that just don't make no sense, bro. That don't make no sense. I don't even know. Why do I why do I even allow Jersey Shiesty to have a voice in the chat? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, y'all Alabama's is soft, bro. Like, for real. Like, I've just never like, to me, I'm sorry. It just, like, I'm sorry. Anyway, let me say this and let me get up out of here. Oh, also, if you're going to watch this on replay, you're probably not going to have a live chat because I got to take out the music to monetize it. That just is what it is. All right. Let me say this. At the end of the day, I agree with anybody who said that it doesn't take for you to put it in the public eye. These are conversations that you have behind closed doors with your daughter, with the mom or whatever, this is just, it is, you just want to have a peaceful co-parenting situation. Let me say this, because somebody asked me this question. Bruss, thank you. I almost forgot. He said, Scotty, what's your relationship with your ex-wife? My relationship with my ex-wife currently is, it's not bad, but it's not good, right? Like, we can only co-parent because you got to think about it. Like, she just lost full custody of the kids to me. What woman do you think is going to be happy about that, right? So we got to, once that dust settles, right, then maybe we can have some type of understanding of just like some commonalities, like, hey, we're doing this for the kids. But until that dust settles, then it's probably going to be rough for a while. So, you know, that's just the nature of the beast of when it comes to like co-parenting and having kids like that, right? Oh yeah, I'm definitely not on her Christmas list. All right. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely not on the Christmas list. But you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so just keep that stuff under wraps, man. Just keep that stuff behind closed doors. It's your daughter. It's her life. It's a family decision, not a family decision. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. So we'll leave it at that. But once again, in the description below, if you would like to donate to the baby shower, right? You are more than welcome to do so. We will greatly appreciate it. I appreciate y'all. I hope I got y'all through y'all day. You only got a few more hours till the work day is over, and you already know what I'm going to do. Until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.